What's with deep? Going deep. Chad and JT.
Ooh, sugar me up and lick me down, baby. This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. Guys, welcome to episode 92. Before we begin, I just want to remind you that we are once again brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our bell ends as well as the base of the bell. There's an end of the bell and there's a base of the bell, and you look after both ends, baby, with your lawnmowers 2.0. That's what's up. Sorry, I'm a little amped. I just had a sip of Diet Coke. But, guys, Manscaped, thank you so much. Thank you for looking after our lawns. And by lawn, I mean pubes. And by pubes, I mean your groinal region where your dong protrudes from your body and it needs trimming so it can be presentable and have a good aesthetic. That's what's up. Code GODEEP at manscaped.com. GODEEP at Manscaped. And I'm here with my compadre, Jean Thomas. What up?
What up, dude?
And we are once again joined by the relaysh friggin' architect.
Frank Lloyd Wright, dude.
Dude, that's what's up, dude. Frank Lloyd Wright would freaking work himself. He would use the landscape, his surroundings, dude, his famous house, Falling Water in the Chicago area. He also was the first one to put a garage attached to homes. Did you know that?
Really?
Functional,
Wow.
dude, ahead of his time. Usually the garage was farther away. I mean, made for more interesting horror flicks, if you ask me.
Oh, for sure.
You know, is Halloween the same film? Although I think that was in the 70s, so that had already happened. But anyway, dude, it's too high of praise, dude. I mean, he's such a forward thinker, dude, you know.
I was just wondering, so there's a lot of great artists, people say, oh, he was ahead of the times, or she was ahead of the times. But do a lot of people ever say, oh, that artist, they were behind the times?
Dude, interesting, dude.
Like, is there a great artist or a great innovator? Well, not innovator, because that would necessitate forward, I guess. I don't know. But I feel like, is there an artist who's behind the times? And is that maybe why everyone loves Dave Chappelle's special so much?
Yeah, where they're like, oh, he's like an anachronistic.
He's kind of saying no.
Yeah.
He's saying no. He's a little big, loud voice saying no.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't know if anyone's ever said it like that, but I think there's people who, like...
That's what they're feeling.
They're not playing by the rules
that
society is creating for them. And they're like, no, it's 1990 for me still.
Right.
There probably has to be, dude. I mean, like... You know, some sort of painter that was just painting like very, very, very real portraits with insane, good, vivid
Oh, that's
detail.
true. You know what I mean? Yeah,
know?
because like Todd Haynes, like he rips like I think his name's Douglas Sirk style from like the 1950s, but he's making movies now, so he's like doing throwback stuff.
Or like Old Souls or Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah,
he's
there is
doing
a lot
like
of those
spaghetti
guys.
westerns.
Yeah.
Yep.
In a sense.
Is that homage? If you're behind the times, is it considered homage or ripping? I guess it depends on if you've done original stuff.
Yeah,
like
I guess
that.
true originality.
If you're even doing stuff that's like rooted in classical techniques or themes or just aesthetics, you're still putting a modern twist on it, though.
Totally. I mean,
But are some people just straight throwback? Yeah.
dude, it's our Dan Carlin style. We have our brains that we think of from our time. It's so difficult for us to place ourselves in the context of that era.
Imagine 200,000 men on horseback, well-trained men, attacking your city. What would be your psychological state of mind? Would you stay and fight, or would the terror of the sound of their hooves hitting the earth in concert scare you into cowardice?
Dude, that's a spot on. That is a spot on. That's a Daryl Hammond level. If you're not familiar with Dan Carlin, JT just freaking drilled it, dude. That's a.
What's
and
the podcast again?
It's
hardcore history.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
Because
freaking.
it's hardcore.
Yeah, he's straight up autodidact, dude. He taught himself all this stuff because he's straight up passionate, dude. And he does not shy away from the gruesome details of history that, you know, your textbooks might skip over or just give you the statistic of. He dives into it.
If you did a history podcast, what portion of history would you emphasize? Because like Strider would do like dank ass relationships through history.
No question. Like a World War II relationship, and how
how you
things were done
maintain a
during
relationship
that era.
while you're
Yeah.
at war.
At wartime, correct.
Set to the
specialize in, like,
song "Say Anything Alive with the Power of Glory and Love."
Oh, fire.
Yeah.
Maybe tackle the Dear John letter as a chapter.
Yeah, you
know, what's
specialize in
going on there.
letters.
Yep.
Yeah, you could be like the guy in Her
Dude,
in
yeah.
World War II.
Great call.
Interesting.
What would I focus on? Probably ancient Greek philosophy,
Right.
Fire.
Socrates and Aristotle.
Beast.
Just laying it down, just the original bros, just waxing poetic. I think I'd like to dive deeper into that and tell people what's up, talk about virtue and whatnot. Dude, I was gonna say though, I did an homage to Buster Keaton today. I tripped, but it was modern because I was wearing Vans.
Really?
Interesting.
Did he invent like the pratfall? Is that him?
I think he was the first dude to do it in movies and do it like really well.
Right.
I mean, I think that's probably been around since cavemen.
Commedia dell'arte, Italians,
Yeah.
like
Oh, baby.
out in the street, dude, just making it happen, dude.
You're a killer.
My dogs,
Yeah.
dude, legends, dude.
What period would you do?
Dude, I think I would focus on nudity throughout
Mm.
history, but not like
Nice.
not like in a sexual way. I'd just be like, what dudes were dropping dong
Yeah.
in every era. So like, I drop you in the 1200s. What is that? Is that medieval? And you're like,
Yeah, Charlemagne.
who's dropping dong at this point?
Mhm.
What city? What country? What attitudes? Yeah,
I love that.
Dude, I feel like if like people from the past were to see how we drop dong now and like what's in style, they'd kind of be like, "Get real, guys."
They'd be disappointed.
Yeah, because like in like Greek times, you see those sculptures like average, humble dongs, and then now it's just like these monster hogs. Like we have
Right.
Joe, who's not here right now, but we can feel his hog presence. But people are kind of like, "That's what you're putting out in the culture." Like,
Yeah, when the 1980s happened and bigger was better,
yeah,
it kind of affected everything, but it really affected dong
droppage.
Totally.
dong standards.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question about it. I couldn't help but think like through history about dong dropping, and one of the dankest movies of all time, of course, Braveheart, features they actually employ that as a tactic of intimidation when they all lift their kilts, which I guess would be a dong raising, because they raise the kilts to show
I
to
never
the
perceived the
English.
scene that way, that they were trying to threaten the British with the size of their dongs. I thought it
Ooh,
was
yeah.
more like disrespect towards their like the person who was trying to have the paternal like station in the relationship.
Oh,
I thought it
Like,
was.
fuck you.
I thought it was like
great.
they were shoving it in their face that it was like well-known stereotype that like Scottish hogs were way bigger than British.
That's what he's
Right,
saying.
and I
Yeah.
think the important takeaway here is when a dong is dropped, it isn't just a shock display. There is multiple angles and multiple takeaways when a dong
Yeah.
is presented.
Well, that's why when I've done analysis on the times that I've been naked, I always try to apply pretty rigorous dimensions to it. I don't just take
course.
it on its face. I'm like, what was in play here?
And I
what
mean-
was I trying to accomplish?
Correct. A lot of times, and not always, sometimes it's comedic. And, this could be argued, what's one of the most important things in comedy? Timing.
Mm.
You don't just lead with a dong drop, although you
Mm.
could. It's a power move. It's going to be a hook. But when you would drop dong, it would be at a really precise time and really, really drive home
Thank
whatever
you.
point you were making. Like,
Thank you.
sorry, officer, I don't have my pants. I can't show you my ID.
That was
Yeah.
What goes through your mind? I'm curious. Is it a comedic, is it like you want to make have a comedic effect, or do you really want to be like sensual, like, like Daniel Day-Lewis, I guess, when you drop your dong? Because you're like the nudist of this squad, I'd say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For me, it really splits into two categories. The first is like, it's a party and I want everyone to feel like anything goes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Not so far as like you can do mean shit. You can't do mean shit. But insofar as like, get loose. You know what I mean? So when I drop dong,
Yeah.
I remember one time before a 4th of July party I had, we rented an Airbnb and we were looking to throw down. And everybody was kind of tired because we partied on the 3rd, but now it's the 4th. And I didn't know if the guys had it in the reserves. So to kind of get everybody going, I threw them a fruit bowl, which is where you put your parts between your legs and you moon somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And the joke is it looks like a fruit bowl. I don't think it looks like a fruit bowl, but that's just what it's called, so that's what I'll call it.
I've heard it called the goat too.
It got everybody hyped.
Mm.
And then
I was there, and I have to say everything is ringing very true.
Mm.
my friend's girlfriend actually came up to me and she said, "Hey JT, when you did your fruit bowl, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen."
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, "Really?" She's like, "That was so funny when you did the fruit bowl." And I wanted to be like, "Why?" But that's inappropriate, so I just kept it moving.
And I mean, to quote a dank movie that we saw, Man on the Wire, why is such an American question? When you're doing art, and I will go as far as to say when you drop dong, there's definitely an artistic element to it. Why feel the necessity to ask the question why? Just knowing your essence and knowing your being, it just is.
Right.
Yeah,
know?
I'd like to
It
say
exists because it does.
right.
Correct.
Right. I'd like to talk about, if I may, the etiquette of the viewers, because I've seen instances where dong's been dropped. I actually called it the goat, the fruit bowl.
Right.
But I like fruit bowl. It actually looks more like a fruit bowl. The goat, I'm not really sure. Maybe if you're looking at a goat from the back, it looks like a.
Perhaps maybe it comes down to if somebody has circumcision or not. I mean, not to get too blue or too graphic in detail.
Right.
But it could change the imagery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, goats, they look like dudes' hogs when their legs are. But anyways.
As far as I understand it, surfers say fruit bowl, snowboarders say goat.
Oh, for real?
Oh, that's a clear
Whoa.
distinction. Yeah, I'll take that.
And
to
I
the
think it's
bank.
because there's more goats where you snowboard
Mm.
and there's more fruit bowls where you surf.
The ongoing
I mean,
cultural battle.
A fire call. Yeah, goats are up in the mountains hopping around on rocks, and yeah, who doesn't have a fruit bowl out when they're freaking shredding
And
with their bros?
unbelievable inclines.
Yeah.
Oh, it's unreal.
Like when you watch goats traverse a mountain face,
Yeah. You see that hog.
yeah, you see their penis.
Yeah.
It's their body is built for their surroundings, and I would say JT's dong is built for his surroundings. It's a very maneuverable. Not to get too
The
detailed, but
comfy confines
comes
of
right
my
out.
girlfriend's
Yeah.
vagina.
comes right out.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Yeah, so the etiquette, like this guy, he flashed a fruit bowl, and this guy Luke, so Taylor dropped it, beast, very artistic.
I think I know where this is going. I don't like it.
Luke comes in,
Don't even.
kicks it.
I knew it.
No way.
Nice job, Luke.
His dong was
Kicks
long
it.
enough to get kicked.
Lowbrow much?
Whoa.
Yeah, dude. And
Unchill.
we had me and like four other guys. This was freshman year of college. We had like a long talk with Luke. We're like, dude, like that was an artistic display. Like you don't just go to the MoMA, and just tear down the Leonardo da Vinci.
Correct. The Mona Lisa is in bulletproof glass.
Yeah.
For that very reason.
You don't go up and kick it.
Yep.
That's live art.
Mm.
And he was really sorry, and he went on a bender after that, but we got him back.
There's an
That's
impulse
good.
in a certain kind of guy, and I've been guilty of being this guy. That when you see an exposed sack, you want to smack it.
Mhm.
You want to
Mhm.
injure it. You want to make it go away.
Mm.
And I wish we gave kids a kind of training grounds to de-learn that impulse.
Mm.
I know. I don't know what it is. It seems innate. I mean, maybe they're water polo players. The Doty tap is a common water polo move.
I
Maybe
was
it's
never into the Doty tap.
I did not
I
like
know I
Doty
sound
tap.
pious, but it's the fact.
Maybe it's an evolutionary thing. It's like I see the potential of your procreation right there, and I'm gonna squash it.
Right. They're going right after your next generation.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of people think Darwin
Wow.
came up with his theories on evolution from going through the islands. What were they called?
Galapagos.
The
Yes,
Galapagos.
on the HMS Beagle.
And he'd see the different species on each island and see the way that they evolved differently. I think Darwin actually came up with his theories on evolution on the boat, the Beagle, on the way over there when he saw the Doty tapping.
Mm.
Right.
He's like, why are these men Doty tapping each other?
Mm.
He said to stop the other one from reproducing because it's all about that evolutionary advantage.
Yeah.
True, and there's nothing like a crew of dudes. They're literally a crew. I would say that's probably the straight up etymology of the word.
That's
dude,
a
on
phylum right
boat.
there.
Yeah.
Thank you, dude. And so, what other crew of dudes than your own bros do you start dotying with, figuring things out together, And so, yeah, dude, I think that's what you're saying is very, very, very dank.
I've heard that if you're
Thank you.
colorblind, that means your dad got kicked in the sack while giving a fruit bowl.
Sean, have you
Whoa.
heard that?
I have never heard that, no.
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
look
Wait,
at
Sean, is your mic on?
You hear me?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hear you. I hear
Oh,
you.
is it coming through?
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
on.
Alright,
I'm here.
just checking, dog. Sorry.
Fuck
Got
yeah.
you.
But yeah, if you have trouble seeing the color red, it's because your dad got friggin' twanked when you flashed his fruit ball.
While fruit bowling, and if someone's father was from the Midwest or the Colorado Rockies, he would have been, of course, goading.
I think there's a Japanese film that translates to honor through life, and it's about a guy tracking down the guy who doty tapped his dad really hard so that he can doty tap that guy. But in the end, they're both trying to doty tap each other, and in a big mud pit, and they keep missing each other's balls, and they end up beating the shit out of each other to death. And you realize that if you try to doty tap everyone who doty taps you, you end up dead.
Dude, that's a really, really interesting point, and it just sparked something in me, and I fully agree with what you said. And it's tough that two such high-trained martial artists, because they're so high-trained, are missing each other and hitting each other in, you would presume, effective points.
not
at
martial
kidney or heart.
artists.
Oh, they're not martial artists. Sorry, I went in with my blind judgment. I apologize. I repeal that.
I've never seen it, but that's what I think.
I love that. You know how in Brazil they invented, what's the...
Capoeira.
Capoeira, and then there's like Krav Maga. Do you think these things, you know, they had to hide it, like they had to devise Capoeira because there was like slave owners and they had to like perform dance, but really it was a defense mechanism. I'm not sure what
No, you're
Krav
right.
Maga came from.
Yeah.
But would you say that like just straight up regular karate is with just like, I took karate, I became an orange belt, 3 stripes, and then I started playing soccer. And you would just do like Barney was the name of my sensei Barney, and he would just teach us like really you would get in a low stance, you'd be low, and you're usually a kid, and when you throw a jab, that's directly to someone's dong. You know what I mean? Like that's.
I could feel it
Yeah.
in that thrust.
I don't know what my point is, or if I'm
10
answering a
dong
question.
strikes. Ayo, ayo,
Yeah.
ayo, ayo, ayo.
Dude, JT, will you please share the story about your sensei?
Yeah, dude, I think I've told it on here before, but my brother and I were both testing for our junior black belts. It's like the black belt you get before you're an adolescent because you're not a real black belt, but you've put in the years. And it was intense, and it was 2 days. You go there all day, you go home, then you come back, you're all day. And there was also some psychological aspects to it because Sensei John had my brother and I in there, and then he had us write an essay, and he listened to us write the essay, and like through the door he listened. He's like, who wrote the essay? And I'm like, all 3 of us, Sensei John, me, Jeffrey, and my brother. And then he's like, no, you wrote the essay. I listened through the doors. You were bossing everybody around. I was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, Sensei. I don't think that's true, though. I was like in defense mode, but he was right. And then I was like, fuck. And then he's like, I mean, he goes, JT, what animal are you? Because our Kempo system was based on 5 animals. And I was like, I'd be the crane because I use your power against you. He's like, no, JT, you would be the snake. He's like, if you were on a desert island with your brother, you would kill your brother and use his body for meat and his skin for a tent. And when they came to rescue you, you'd be smiling. At this point, my brother and I start bawling. We're like, no. I'm like, I would not kill my brother. My brother's like, you wouldn't kill me, Sensei John. Sensei John was like, he would kill you, Chris.
How
you
old-
would. I was
how old were you
8 or 9. It was deep, deep trauma.
Amazing,
deep
dude.
trauma.
Just
He
gonna
really got
imagine
to me.
Sensei John at like his studio apartment later that day. He's like, I taught those kids a valuable lesson.
You got to imagine how much I
Make
must have been
himself like
annoying that guy for 5 years for him to just lash out like that
Yeah,
and fucking destroy me. He gave me the black belt down. He was always cool to me, but that was one moment where he really broke me down.
Do you think he in his house alone he's just doing moves like?
Dude, yeah, and his wife Mo was also at the martial arts academy. She was a black belt, so
Badass.
they were a advanced family when it came to self-defense.
Do you think you think sparring was foreplay?
Oh, for sure.
No question.
I think about it all the time. If I dated like Ronda Rousey,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, put me in an arm bar, and then I'd tap, like, now some kisses.
Fuck yeah, dude. That'd be so chill.
Let's go.
That'd be so chill.
That would be so sick.
Guys, what else is going on? How you guys been?
Freaking chilling, dude. Straight up. Dude, football season started. Fired up
I'm
on that
so
for my
pumped, dude.
tasty action and my
What do you
tasty
think about Antonio
fantasy.
Brown getting suspended today for
Dude.
threatening his GM?
I
And-
saw O.J. Simpson's reaction.
What'd he
It's on
say?
Barstool. That's what I saw.
What OJ say?
He's like, "Come on, man. First I draft Andrew Luck, then I got Antonio Brown. What are you doing? Just
it's fantasy football complaints?
Yeah, he's like, don't just cash your fancy checks and go home, man.
Dude, part of me thinks OJ is such because he's probably a psychopath, that he's just doing that because he knows it like can get people to be on his side a little bit, like garner some support from people, like make him connectable. Like I think like he doesn't even play fantasy.
Yeah.
He's probably just like, people know fantasy. Yeah, I'm gonna take the fantasy angle, then they'll like me.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, dude.
I was thinking about how crazy it is that he's just posting videos now on Twitter, like it just like, why do you need that attention?
Yeah, it makes you hurt for the family, like Nicole Smith's family, because you're like, dude. You're like, oh, they don't need to be seeing this, and like this is the only time in history where they would be seeing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
Like 600 years ago, you wouldn't have to deal with like their social media posts, but it's it's tough.
Hey, Twitter world, it's yours truly.
So strange. But yeah, dude, AB, man, the freaking guy, dude. I mean, I think the owner is kind of being like, dude, you got to be, or not the owner, but the GM, like, dude, just a lack of professionalism, dude. I mean,
yeah, so you think it's on both? I didn't read the story, so was the GM was being a little bit like combative with them, like in his interviews and stuff, even the stuff that you see in Hard Knocks.
Totally, you take jabs at him, you know.
But so did Jerry Jones with Ezekiel Elliott, and it didn't implode this way. I mean, I agree with you. I do. I think the GM's not the sharpest guy, but AB is just so weird.
Dude, he's too
like,
weird.
Like I meant to say last episode. Like, the central character in this season's Hard Knocks is Antonio Brown's weirdness.
Correct. So true, dude. The guy. You just see him, you're like, what is going on?
Yeah, he's weird.
But he's so successful and so, like, amazing at what he does. You're like, well, I guess that's how you have to be the best. But there's other guys who have been great who aren't like that. Like, Jerry Rice is like, he won, like, Dancing with the Stars and was very charming and nice.
That's the point I made last week. I made this. My legend of the week was Julio Jones for not being weird.
Yeah, he's still amazing.
Yeah.
But everyone comes from a different, Antonio Brown came from like nothing, and who knows? I don't know.
No, that's the thing is he's the best receiver in the NFL for the last 10 years, so maybe he should be able to be like eccentric. But he's taken it to such a degree, it's like
totally.
It's too much.
Yeah.
But speaking of O.J. Simpson, so speaking of prisoners, did you guys read this article on the prison economy?
Yeah, it's
dude.
Nuts.
It's insane. Yeah, the guy studied, it's an article in The Guardian, and he studied Angola prison, which I guess has a population the size of like USC.
Yeah.
And then is bigger than Manhattan in size.
Really?
Yeah.
It's that big? I missed that part.
And he just talked about the different ways that people make money there, spend money, and how it all operates.
I mean, dude, the wages the prisoners are getting, and I mean, you're reading this article and you're like, oh, these are criminals. He front loads it saying a lot of these charges, and this is about the state of Louisiana. It's not like a federal thing or a national or like, in California where we are just straight up legit chilling by the coast. And, but it's like the prisoners make like, 20 cents an hour.
Yeah.
And then the rate of inflation of how things like back in like when that was established in like the 60s, like a pack of cigarettes they were making like 4 cents, but a pack of cigarettes was 50 cents. So you could actually make that in like
it used to take a day of work, and now it takes a week of work to get a pack of cigarettes.
So they haven't like matched it, which they need to like. I think the prison systems are like so, and beyond my knowledge, like grossly insane. It's crazy that there's privatization, but like, dude, I love the underground markets.
Yeah, it was all pretty fucked. And then, like, the infractions, they're like, if you get one infraction, it could set you back to 0. I was like, Jesus Christ.
That was the craziest thing. You have to be perfect for 10 years.
Yeah.
And some of the mistakes aren't even, like, intentional.
Yeah.
And you're like, and that sets you back. Like, that would be pretty demoralizing.
Like, you get called trusted. Like, this guy he was trusted because he had 10 years, like, immaculate record. Then he gets accused of stealing a wrench from, like, the tool shop.
Yeah, just the accusation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like
it's brutal.
If you start at the bottom, you have to work. There's not an option not to work at the prison, which I think is a little unfair because I think if you want to be derelict, that should be allowed. But the first job you get is like picking cotton or picking green beans.
Yeah.
And it's a tough job because you have to like kill weeds and throw them. And if you just accidentally hit some dude with some dirt and then he decides to brawl with you, that means that you can't get out of that job for another 10 years.
Yeah, and then it could reset your penalty time to 0. Is that what?
Yeah.
Did I read that correctly?
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
So gnarly.
Yeah, the whole article made me be like, I don't want to go to prison, which I guess is a good lesson.
I stay away from all prison TV shows. I never watch any of them. I'm like, that is my worst nightmare. I'm not watching it.
Yeah, because my dog loves
Yeah, dude.
Miami, and Miami's like the opposite of prison. Anything goes in Miami.
Yeah.
Nothing goes in prison.
I would not do well.
Nah, I wouldn't either, dude.
Because I don't think any of us would, but
But you'd have a better shot than me, because like we'd both be on the loved side, not the lover's side, and I think you would get loved by a stronger prisoner than I would.
That's
what
how
does
it
that
is.
what does that love include?
All the bells
It's up
and
to
whistles.
him. Yeah.
Just protection and
All
like,
the trimmings.
and like lots of daps.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Definitely.
Dude,
but I mean, it was interesting about the dots that they had, like these systems. Like now they're talking about currency, where obviously from dank movies like Shawshank Redemption, which is one of the most legit movies of all time, they would trade, like prisoners would trade cigarettes or paper or toilet paper, and like they break down like currency and like what makes currency valuable. It has to be like divisible. It has to be like everyone needs to buy into it. Like it needs to hold its own. Like everyone, has to have, I guess, like trust among the users of it. It has to hold value in its own thing. A cigarette is a value in its own right. And then there's like one more.
And it can
trait.
hold future value.
And it holds future value, so it doesn't
Yeah.
just diminish. So you can store it and still make
you can
gains.
store it and still have your value protected.
And cigarettes qualify as that. But now, like I guess in this prison, they banned cigarette smoking in 2015, so they need to like adapt, and people want cash. So they've like got these prepaid cards on the internet, and they're just like, they'll have someone on the outside text them, and I think phones are contraband too. Baby oil's contraband because it could slick your arms and make you difficult to wrangle for the guards. All sorts of gnarly things. And
It's a bummer in case they want to wrestle.
yeah, or in case you want to drill yourself really, really nicely.
dude, good call. I
You know,
didn't even
heats
think of
up.
that.
Yeah, it's legit.
Dude, yeah, so like it was interesting when I heard about that guys are using prepaid gift cards as like the currency to pay guards so they can smuggle in drugs and stuff. And I had a friend who he actually did that for porn when we were in high school. He would buy gift cards, and that's how we would pay for porn sites. Yeah, so he was kind of on the same level of innovation as these prisoners. Because you can't trace it, and
Yeah.
the money can be spent anywhere. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I like the idea of
Sorry, kids. If you're young and you hear this, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't have to do that.
I'm just giving my friend B credit for being a creative thinker, but you know what? I think that energy could have been better served elsewhere.
Absolutely.
Although it probably wouldn't have been as funny on the podcast now.
True.
You're an economist.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the idea of how things like when you're in prison, the value of like these like worthless items just goes way up. You know,
Totally.
It's funny how it's like a small economy.
Yeah.
it's like its own little like
It's
country.
got its own system.
Yeah.
The guy selling pecans was the king.
Oh, the
Yeah.
best.
He
Yeah.
would pre-sell the batch. He'd get money in advance of the pecans coming out.
Yeah.
Or pecans.
Dude, I'm coming in with a whole
Amazing.
thing of
Yeah.
Planters peanuts, dudes. I'm gonna be rich.
Yes.
Also, dude, what scared me too was because there was just a small sentence in the article that said there's censorship in the prisons, and I was really disheartened to see how much stuff they don't let the prisoners watch or read because they're afraid that it will like inflame them or lead to criminal activity. But it's such a broad description of what can be censored that they censor a lot of stuff that they shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like on the more
what?
serious side, like criminal justice reform magazines.
Oh, really?
That like tell you about the bullshit in sentencing. They won't
Yeah.
let them read that because they're afraid it'll inflame them.
Yeah.
At least in Louisiana, I think. But
Jeez.
but then they can't look at porn, and I'm like, all right, I get it. You don't want a bunch of horny guys running around, but at the same time, they're still like human beings. Like they should have access to what they want to look at. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If it's not directly criminal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like once you've drilled yourself, you're probably a little bit more relaxed. You know what I mean? It's
That's
almost like
true.
you kind of,
Oh, for
look,
sure.
everyone's different. Everyone responds differently, but like, I mean, maybe it was just because there's not, they're working a long day too in this prison, like 8 hours a day. I mean, dude, horniness is raw, pure energy, dude. You know, so you got to get rid of that and channel it in a healthy way, hopefully.
Maybe they have healthier sexual appetites, though. You know, they're not like craving like lots of anal now because they're just
They don't
using
have
their
unrealistic
imaginations.
sexual expectations because they're not looking at porn.
Yeah, so maybe they're craving more of like, I want to light candles and go watch like a water fountain and eat some cheese and then just missionary for like 20 minutes slow.
Love it.
Because they're not exposed to porn. Perhaps it is a blessing.
And I think that's even better. You know what, dude? Yeah, I'm fired up on that.
I'm fired up
That's
as
kind
well.
of. I feel like that's what you like a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I love to look at, like if I see a snake plant, dude, and it's a good deal on it, sprung, if I see, you know, my
What
credenza, you know, the light's coming in just right when I'm
Oh.
coming in from work, and it's dancing off that the creme de Mafil marble that sits on top of that dank mid-century wood. Yeah, dude.
What if you see a succulent? What does that do?
Oh, it fires me up. I love succulents, especially my place doesn't get the best, or I shouldn't say my GF and I's place doesn't get the best natural light. So
Mhm.
succulent really, and I think an important element in fantasy is the reality element, the attainability element.
Mm.
Of course, it's always fantasy. It's just outside our reach. But if I see that succulent, I could really see it living in my place. And I could really see my GF and I getting fired up, maybe even as a centerpiece.
Have you ever
That
thought?
really fires me up and makes me want to just straight up, you know, unjoy. You know, pardon my, you know,
I
crude
love
here.
hearing that you love succulents, dude.
Vagina, dude. Yeah.
Dude, because
Yeah.
to see you evolve into a dude who loves succulents, that gets me fucking hyped, bro.
Dude, fuck yeah, dude. Look, dude. You guys, dude. I'm not. This is like 0%. Like not even like 0%. Sometimes it's a little bit annoying when someone's like, dude, one day you'll get it. But dude, I seriously think so, and I think you guys are already ahead of the curve. Like, one day you guys will freaking just get fired up on succulents.
I didn't know what a succulent was until like a week ago.
Mm.
My GF was like, I was like, whoa, babe, what's going on over there? She's like, that's a succulent. And I was like, what?
Yeah, dude.
And she laid it down on me, and I was just like, whoa, and that was it.
Dude, even thinking about that experience, like that you had with your GF like that unique experience. I mean, for you, I mean, if I have a nice unique experience with like about my GF like that, I could take care of myself in the shower to that idea. I could take care of myself in the shower.
To what I just
thinking
told you?
No, of course not. You know, with your
But
girlfriend, that's
picturing
your
yourself in
intimate
that
moment, dude.
situation.
That's your intimate moment, dude.
Right.
But in similar situations, like with me, like when I found that good deals on Craigslist with my GF, you know, I could take care of myself. You know,
Nice, dude.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, maybe
You
try
gotta
that
be
out.
self-sufficient.
Yeah, try that out, dude.
I'm gonna think about a credenzant tonight when I drill myself.
I think you'd be well served.
I'm glad to know what you're gonna be thinking of.
What are you gonna be thinking of?
I already drilled myself, so I might take the night off.
So you're good. What, are you gonna watch a
Yeah.
movie or a documentary or something dank?
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
What did you think about it? If I don't, I don't want to get too.
My girlfriend.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Nice.
Fucking sick, dude.
Nice.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's so sick.
chill.
That's so awesome.
That's what's up, dude. Yeah.
That's so
dude.
cool.
No, there was
Yeah.
2 of my girlfriends in the fantasy.
Whoa,
and they were
dude.
hooking up with each other.
So this was
That's why it's
sci-fi
called
style, straight
fantasy.
up clone
Yeah.
style. That's sick, dude.
Dude, it was
straight
pretty
up-
profound.
You guys could have been
Yeah.
in Cuba because they clone each other down there. Dude, you guys are like, you fucking hit the boat. You're like, she's like, I'm a fiend for a mojito, dude. Fucking, and you just hit that boat, just
What's
straight
going
up
on with
Colin Farrell
Cuban,
style.
Cuban cloning?
Because you know how like they say like they do experiments in Cuba because of Fidel Castro, and like they like clone goats down there. You guys hear about that?
Really?
No.
Yeah, there's like, I remember like reading straight up articles about that back in the day, like, because like Fidel was living a long time, and you know, obviously what goes on in that country is different laws than what we have here, and so they're like, yeah, they had like would do these like mad scientist experiments down there.
What's
I
up?
thought
Yeah.
they cloned
And he was
mojitos.
like, oh, baby,
Okay,
if I
keep
could.
going, sorry.
But anyway, I was just really going with
Did you say clone mojitos? I love that.
it's a great call.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, dude. I mean, I'm pretty much done. I'm just saying, you know.
But dude,
fire up the
speaking
engines.
of a country that could use clones, we read another article that's in Switzerland. It's illegal to have just one guinea pig, for the simple fact that Switzerland's government doesn't want the guinea pigs to be lonely.
I love it,
So you
dude.
got to have 2 guinea pigs so that they can kick it.
I love it. And that tugged
That's
me.
such good protection under the law.
Dude, that tugged
Mhm.
me right at the heartstrings because I had a guinea pig in college at our house, cream pie. His name was Larry. And I was like, man, I really did Larry wrong because we didn't get Larry a buddy. He raged with us a lot, you know. He chugged out of his little like sucker metal straw and hit that freaking wheel a bunch, and then like raged with us. Like we brought him out, and he just fucking, got pumped. But
Brought the ruckus.
yeah, I'm just sad to know that Larry didn't have a squad member with him.
But it is chill that he was taking care of the turtles. He didn't even know about it. He had that metal straw, dude. That little thing
Yeah.
that like the
Oh,
guinea pig just
dude,
goes
yeah.
like- he like tongue darts it and gets the water out of it. That's how you get it. Yeah.
G pigs are definitely environmentally conscious.
It has
Totally.
to be one of the most thoughtful laws in the world.
I
Like
love
for
it,
the
yeah.
government to be so tuned in and just microscopic in their protections that it also protects guinea pigs. Like that's very thoughtful government work, dude. And then like I love what the article did.
Yeah, I love this photo.
They talk about how guinea pigs when they're lonely when they're by themselves are prone to feelings of isolation and loneliness. And they put a photo of 3 guinea pigs right next to each other, and they all look like they just got out of some sadness.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like they look like they're like, dude, I was by myself for a while and it sucked. And I love when articles do this, when they have an image that really accompanies what the message is. You see a lot of this when guys get accused of sexual harassment. They always use like the grossest photo of the guy.
Totally.
And you're like, he did it.
Yeah.
He sweats a lot.
Yeah.
He's got a lazy eye.
They're bolstering the thesis of their freaking article. Dude.
For sure, dude.
Dude. Fucking, but dude, you are correct. Like these 3 guys are just chilling with each other. Definitely looking like, you know, maybe they watched freaking Manchester by the Sea or something or whatever that would be equivalent to in guinea pig experience. Maybe just posting up alone.
And then, dude, an example of how regulation can sometimes spur innovation. Now there's services in Switzerland where you can rent a guinea pig to keep your other one company.
I saw that.
That's a fire job, dude. If you cruise around with a bunch of guinea pigs just posting up in like your, like imagine just birding around with a crate of guinea pigs, just cruising, making other
For
guinea
rent.
pigs happy. That's fucking sick, dude.
And Switzerland must be a nice place if they're out of laws to make. So they're like, guys, what should we do next? They're like, this guy's like guinea pigs, dude.
And we were giving them some heat on the last episode because of
Wait.
Nestle trying to steal all the
Oh,
water.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
But we go both ways with Switzerland.
Yeah.
Hey, I
mean,
give them credit when they do the right thing, when they protect guinea pigs.
dude. Yeah.
I also like how they have a law that you're allowed to own 1 cat. It doesn't need a companion. However, they do want it to be able to see other cats through a window. Now, how do you enforce that? You don't, but it is written in there. They
But that's
want
what
that
the
cat.
suggestion is.
Yeah.
It's strongly suggested.
Yep.
How much time do you do if you don't comply with this guinea pig law? Because I don't want somebody to end up in an Angola-style prison where
Right.
they're having to, you know, fight for a Russell sweatshirt for
I think
5 years.
I think you go DMV style with this. You write a ticket and you got to go watch some videos, dude. You know, like a driving school type scenario. You got to have a divorced dude in a room talking to you about, hey, this is what you got to do. You know, we're all here. We all got to drive safe. And here's the thing. And I try to do stand-up comedy. But these are the guinea pigs. So it's like that type of scenario. You know, sad guy, 45 divorced, you know, failed comic, just in there, just teaching you about guinea pigs.
Dude, I had a driving school teacher who like told the most rando stories where he'd be like, one guy was driving past me doing 75 and flicked me the bird. And he was clearly working out like some stories that he still had anger over. And then he'd be like, so he tells me to pull over and I get out of the car and he says, what's your fucking problem? And I say, sir, don't curse. Next thing you know, he beats the hell out of me. He beat me to within an inch of my life. How's that for road rage? You're like, dude, whoa.
He beat the hell out of me.
It was my birthday. He just keeps adding sad
Yeah.
elements.
The passenger, who was a driving school student, was terrified. And I tried to assure them everything would be all right until the point where I lost consciousness.
I want it noted for the record, I could have defended myself better physically. However, I felt concern for the student there, and I wanted that student to feel comfortable. Therefore, I took the beating.
Just teaching him a lesson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't fight back. Take the beating. You did wrong on the road.
Do I go to the corner of Crescent and Oakwood and smoke a cigarette on the anniversary of every evening that happened? Yes, I do. Yes, I do go do that. And yes, I do reflect upon it by myself. It's cathartic.
Now we're going to get into left-hand turns.
Yeah, exactly.
Pushing. Yeah.
3-point turns. Let's talk about them.
Dudes, we read one more article, and this is the most important because it was about a guy we really admire, Brad Pitt.
Fuck
The
yeah.
man.
New York Times did
Voice
a
just
big
cracked
spread
thinking
on him.
about it.
Sounds good, dog.
Thanks.
I mean, it's Pitt, dude. He has that effect.
And he sounds like a guy who's really got it together. I'm
I
very
love
happy
him.
to report that Brad Pitt is doing well, dude.
I
Yeah.
love him more and more every day.
This article made me love him, dude. It made me, just when I pulled out the picture, I was in 3rd grade, dude, and I forget what movie just came out, but Brad Pitt was in a movie, and he just like, dude, when I was in 3rd grade, I saw Brad Pitt, and I was like, this guy's fucking cool.
Yes.
And there was some kid named Jason in my class, and his last name was close to mine because we were all sitting pretzel-like waiting to go into the classroom, and he even knew who Brad Pitt was. And this guy had a great quote, and he goes, Brad Pitt, women want him, men want to be him. He said this in 3rd grade, dude. Hilarious. This kid, Jason.
My
Incredible.
mom talked about Brad Pitt and she loved Brad Pitt. She still do.
I think my
still
family
does.
talked about him a lot as well.
Yeah, she loves Brad Pitt, and I would, my mom would get People magazine every week, and I'd read about it. I'd read up on what Brad is up to, and I'd just be like, But even in recent years, though, I feel like he's really shown his how deep he is.
Well, he's gotten sober.
And his
it's given him
range.
some clarity on his feelings.
Yeah, and with acting too, his range.
Oh yeah, he's
is
killing it. He's having a big year. He's got a
incredible.
James Gray movie coming out that could be a banger.
Yeah.
And he just did really good work in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Maybe his career best work. So
And
Yeah.
subtle.
it's weird to think Brad Pitt's having a moment, but I kind of feel like this year could be his best year that he's ever had.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so fired up.
His hair deserved an Academy Award for sure.
55 years
Correct.
old.
Yeah.
And he's hotter than any 30-year-old.
Oh, no question.
And he genuinely seems like he doesn't, he appreciates that he's the hot, cool guy, but that he's still not totally comfortable with it.
Yeah.
The article really makes it seem like he just kind of keeps getting thrusted into the spotlight, and he kind of reluctantly is like, all right, I know I'm the coolest and the hottest, so I guess I'll be there.
Dude,
Yeah.
I don't want to, you talk about this, dude. You talk about how hot dudes don't always have it that easy, dude. And this is a case in point, dude.
Yeah, it's the burden of their hotness gives them increased visibility at all times and increased expectations.
Yep.
And I think that can really grate on people.
And dude, I used to get mad at him when he would do the
Outdo
actor
himself?
beard. Correct.
Yeah.
He'd put the actor beard, and I'm gonna go, "What are you hiding that from us for?"
Yeah.
I felt selfish. Let me see.
You
it.
felt
That
entitled
jaw-
to it.
Yeah, I did.
And
I
you
felt.
th-
The jawline?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you thought he was kind of being spoiled by
Correct.
by not showing it to us.
Correct.
Yeah. Kind of thumbing his nose at us. I felt the same way.
Maybe he just needed a break.
Yeah, I like that. I like when they talk about his how he grew up with a very stoic dad, and that's sort of like he's like, don't say much, just hard work, stay strong, fight through it. And now he's getting into emotional vulnerability.
Yeah.
Which I kind of relate to, not to compare myself to Brad, but
No.
because my dad's super stoic, and he's just like, I'm just gonna do surgery, give me a scalpel, and I'll fucking do it. But and I was like, yeah, I gotta be the same way, stay quiet, just keep working, and freaking hang dong. But I've been learning about emotional vulnerability more this year, and it's so freeing. So if you can find a combination between the two, I think it's a dynamite combo.
Yeah, because you're kind of getting out of a prison.
Yeah.
Of your own kind of fear. I went back to my high school this weekend.
Yeah.
And I kind of went back to my high school self when I was there. I was
Yeah.
surrounded by all the kids, and I was back on the same campus. And I got all mixed up, and I felt all weird. And I realized I was such a pain in the ass when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And for a lot of reasons. But I think one of the biggest reasons is that I was super sensitive, and I didn't feel like I had any place to talk about that sensitivity.
Yeah.
And I didn't even feel like I knew how to talk about it. I didn't
Yeah.
even feel like I had a language to talk about it.
Yeah.
I didn't know what words to use.
Yeah.
And it fucked me up.
Yeah.
And then I read about Brad now at 55 finally being okay with being a sensitive guy and being afraid and all these different things that everyone
Yeah.
feels, even Brad Pitt. And I'm like, man, we really do a disservice to
Yeah.
all the dudes that we don't feel like we don't feel safe being that way.
Yeah, it is a very pleasurable feeling to talk about what's honesty and talk about what's going on.
Yeah, you feel
And-
good.
Yeah, and you process it, and I sort of internalized all of it. Sort of like the opposite reaction, where I would just get I was just quiet,
Right.
And I would just, they'd be like, he's so shy, and I'm like, yeah, because I have a lot going on. Okay.
Yeah, I would act out.
Tough.
I would
Yeah.
run around naked or break something or be loud.
Yeah.
And you guys remember we did those personality tests. You have the similar personality.
Yeah.
You're more extrovert, more introvert. It makes perfect
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Right.
But dude, you're making fire points too, and Pitt, it said in the article when he's describing what he's wearing, and he's like, he has a Rumi tattoo, a Rummy. I don't know his name. Rumi.
Yeah.
He's and I looked this up, dude, because I was interested in during the article. He's a 13th century. He's from Persia, Islamic mystic, Sufi mystic poet, and what his main quote is, and I don't know what Brad Pitt has tattooed on his arm. I'm not sure. I didn't look that up, but it's exactly what you guys are saying. It's dude, you're saying these moments from your high school childhood. You're saying these difficult times, and maybe this is more exaggerated, but he's Rumi's big quote is keep breaking your heart until it's open. And it's like, dude, you keep
That's
having.
the quote that Pitt had?
I don't know if that's his quote.
that's one
but
of
that's
Rumi's
like the
quotes.
main Rumi. Like when you
Yeah.
Google Rumi quote, that's the first one.
Yeah.
But he's got. I was reading all of them. There's so many.
I was so afraid to break my heart. Yeah, I
Bro,
was so afraid.
but that's what
Yeah.
That's what emotional maturity is. It's you become more comfortable as you get older with kind of who you are and how you react to things. And when you're younger, it's so hard to do. But you go and not like break your heart, like I need to go get dumped, but like, as in life experience, go try things, fail a little bit, grow from it, learn, and then you'll become human and open.
And dude,
to
it's
the
a
rest.
constant effort thing, because like I'm discovering now in my relationship that I wasn't like fully letting her in because I was afraid to get my heart broken. To be just all in and be like, all right, all my stock is with this. Not all the way where like my whole livelihood's on this person, but like my romantic heart. And then I was like, oh, I'm not going all the way with it. I'm not fully trusting this person because I'm afraid getting my heart broken. Yeah.
Dude, fuck it's it's very salient.
But I gotta do it. I gotta just
you have to
break it.
But
I gotta
so
get in there like a Kit Kat
dude,
bar and just crack it
snap
up.
it open.
But it's one of those things that when you say it now, we're like makes sense. You got to do it. But in the moment, it's so hard.
But if we get ourselves
So
hyped on
hard.
it right now, then we'll all take this energy and it'll help us do it.
Yeah, dude, he's like the original dude of Stoke.
Let's do
almost.
it.
Yeah. Do you know why Kit Kat bars are so good? Because you break them.
Right.
Fuck.
But honestly, there's no better feeling. I've learned this a lot in my like a month and a half in sobriety of like personal growth, where you can feel yourself like getting like and so when you're able to sort of like switch your point of view on like shitty things that happen, you know, when like heartbreak, for example, when you're able to be like, yeah, this sucks and this hurts, but this is making me wiser. So like I'm grateful for this pain because
It's growth.
Yeah, now I'm, you know, my emotional intelligence is skyrocketing, even though I want to go, you know, just play Mario Kart for the rest of my life in the basement.
And that's fun to do in moderation, like the Greeks say.
I was thinking more of like a depressing. That is
Correct.
kind
Yeah,
of
like
fun.
like hiding away.
No,
though.
you're
Yeah.
right. For the rest
right.
of your life sounds too long.
That's too long.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
a disservice to all the people who want to see you
It's just
above
it's
the
just
attic
retreating,
or above the basement talking to
Yeah,
us.
it's
Correct.
retreating back to comfort. That's what I was
Play
thinking.
Mario
Yeah.
Kart 4-player with your boys in the living room.
Yeah.
And get a rotation.
There's
going.
a Hemingway quote I like where he says, "The world breaks us all, and it makes us stronger in the broken places."
Yeah.
Yes, dude. Rumi says where there's an open wound, that's where the light gets in.
Yeah.
Says that, dude.
Jordan had to get beat by the Pistons to come back and be a champion.
Yeah.
You know, you don't win the championship on your first go round. Look at Giannis this year.
Yeah.
You got to get your ass kicked, and then you learn some lessons, and then you come back.
That's why whenever I get sick, I hate it so much, but I'm like, this is gonna make my healthy times 10 times better. Because now I'm like I was sick, and now I'm healthy, and now I'm just so amped on life because I have full function.
Totally, you're not taking it for granted, dude.
You're right.
And
yeah.
dude, it speaks to what a beast Brad Pitt is. That his low point is like the year he produced 12 Years a Slave and like starred in World War Z.
Yeah,
He's like,
dude.
that's when I knew I had to change. I was like, you still were doing really solid.
his rock
man."
bottom,
yeah.
I'm like, dog, you're still crushing it, but I appreciate that you want to crush it even harder.
Yeah.
And you know what? Now the movies are a little bit better, and his performances are a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then I read an article
Nuanced.
about him that he did with GQ in 2016 when he first got sober, and he sounds like he has more clarity now. Although the difference is they were quoting him verbatim in that first one, so maybe he'd sound goofy in this one too
Yeah.
if they did. But
Now,
but he was smart enough not to let them do that this time.
You can
Awareness.
feel his clarity now. And you can
Yes.
sort of see it like in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, looking at him, as opposed to movies from like 5 years ago and stuff. You can just see he looks vibrant and healthy
Yeah.
and just like just wise.
Present.
And like he's realized that life is more about feeding your pit bull in like the coolest way possible.
Oh fuck yeah, that Pitbull in that movie is so sick.
Yeah.
Now, dude, I love Pitt. But like we said with Switzerland, dude, you know, we're gonna recognize the positives. We're gonna recognize when it's negatives. Now, Pitt, in that article with his sobriety, he was like on a what exactly happened on that plane? He was like
He was
drinking.
yelling. I heard he was yelling at Angelina Jolie, and then and he was drunk. And one of his kids, who's 15, stood up to like stop him from yelling, and he knocked the kid back into his seat, but hard.
Mm.
I mean,
I gotta say though, I mean I'm not trying to speculate, but Angelina sounds a little icy.
no, I think she did tear him down, but I think he
Yeah.
let himself get torn down
Right.
too. Yeah,
Because he wanted to break his heart.
yeah. But I think
Yeah.
I think
Oh, fuck.
no, you love Pitt.
I love Pitt. I love Pitt too.
I think we all do.
Dude, we were crescendoing on Stoke, and I hate it to get us fucking
it's-
right
no,
here.
no,
it's
necessary.
actually pretty interesting. Like I was on a vacation with my dad, my brother, and my brother's girlfriend, and I asked my dad, I was like, whose side were you on when the Jolie and Pitt were first pregnant? I'm like, whose side you on? He's like, Pitt. And then I went to my brother's girlfriend. I was like, whose side you on, Jolie or Pitt? And she went, Aniston.
Ooh.
And then I went back to my dad. I said, Dad, whose side were you on, Pitt or Aniston? My dad went, Pitt. Just across the board support of Brad Pitt, no matter what. Yeah, and I think we all feel that to a certain degree. We're like, if Pitt does something wrong, we're like, nah, dude, it's Brad Pitt. You know, everybody else was fucking with him. Come on, come on, it's Brad Pitt. And I do believe it. I do think he's a good guy. Think he's a good guy.
Was your dad saying Brad Pitt from Troy in his whole sentence? Was he saying
right?
that?
That's what my dad was thinking about when
Brad
he saw
Pitt from
it.
Troy.
Yeah. It's nice with Brad Pitt too that you can choose between like the two ideal male body types. You can go with muscular in Troy. You can go with skinny, ripped,
Dude,
in Fight Club.
I want to talk about this, dude. This is like very stupid and a weird thought, but I had it in my mind. I was like, you know, there's religious iconography and like, you know, in Hinduism, you know, there's like gods look a certain way because it's symbolic. Like one will have 8 arms or appear blue because of a reason, or you know, in Islam there's Muhammad, and like you're not allowed to draw the god for certain religious reasons. And in Orthodox Christianity they have like a lot of you know, in Western religion there is too, but like I don't know about like I was, you know, raised Catholic and stuff, but like all the, you know, Jesus is always like white and stuff, and it's like, well, that's factually wrong. Like he would be a Middle Eastern, he's from the Middle East, he would be more tan and look what you know, modern America would look, you know, stereotypically claimed to be like a Muslim, even though he was Jewish and all this, but right. And I was like, dude, can't we just take the liberty in ourselves? Like I remember when I was a little kid, I thought God was just the priest at our church. Like literally when I was praying at night, I was like, God looks like that old priest, and that was fine. It didn't matter what I thought he looked like. And all I'm saying is, why can't you just picture God just being like, you know, Steven Seagal or something with a sick haircut, just ripping in a Jaguar?
Yeah.
You know, he's still omnipresent. He's still omnipotent.
Well, I mean, Steven Seagal, if you want to, he's a
character,
he's
dude.
a character.
But his look,
he's
dude.
got some bad. You don't want to Wikipedia Steven Seagal.
What do you do? What do you do? Oh, shit,
he's
dude.
a scumbag.
He made his assistant like a sex slave or something. Like
Oh,
that.
dude, then yeah, that's a bad call. Not
And this
Steven
is
Seagal.
way less of an offense, but if you watch the Daniel Cormier John Jones first fight for light heavyweight champion, they keep cutting to Daniel Cormier's training partners in the audience who are both UFC fighters, and they're giving him advice, and then you just see right next to them and hear above them Steven Seagal go, combinations, like giving advice to the guy in the ring. Dead serious.
That's how he got into Hollywood. He was somebody's trainer, right?
Michael
Yeah.
Ovitz, the guy who made CAA big, started CAA.
Tom Segura has a great bit about him. Have you heard it?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
What's he say?
But he's like how he became a cop in like Louisiana and made a show about it. And he's like, well, you might not know about me because I'm a cop. And he's all bloated now and has like doesn't have the same range of motion. So he's like training these Marines or whatever, or these cops how to like for like self-defense. And he's like, if a guy comes at you, you gotta hit him in the throat like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he kick him in the groin like that.
I heard he can fight pretty well.
Yeah.
But it is true, like based on athleticism of all the martial arts actor stars, he's probably the least range of motion.
Yeah, he
like
didn't
he
age
never
well.
threw a hide kick. in
Really?
any of his
Yeah.
movies. I don't think he ever threw a high kick. Yeah. He did a lot of like flippy flip hands in your face stuff.
Yeah.
But he was great at it.
David Spade, I think, said he was like the worst SNL host ever. Like so hard to work with. Like
Really?
couldn't get like no comedic timing or anything. Like just brutal.
You,
Like took himself serious. He's like, is that a joke about me? They're like, no, it's not. It's like, all right, no one's making fun of me. Like, so sensitive.
you know who God is for me?
Who?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Dude,
oh, I'm
he's
fired up
great.
on that. Oh, dude, in Austin 316.
Just crushing
that's the
brews
exact-
in
thank you,
heaven.
dude.
He's just crushing brews in heaven all the time.
He's one of the greatest orators that ever lived.
Yeah.
I really believe that.
What
He's
a
giving,
legend,
He's
dude.
giving the devil the stunner.
Shaq, can you log me into the...
That's amazing, dude.
What else is cracking?
Just chilling, dude. Freaking.
What's the score on the game?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna check right now.
Oh, dude, I've been rock climbing.
Oh,
I love it.
fuck yeah.
I
dude.
love rock climbing. And some stokers reached out. I also met a fire rock climber / stoker at the gym, Macon. What up, dude? Thank you for introducing me, or saying what up to me my first time at the gym. He just approached me. He's like, if you ever need help with climbing, let me know. And I was like, thank you, dude. But
Nothing better.
It has everything, it has a good workout. You chalk up your hands. There's creativity, works out these muscles, it's just like, and you get, friggin' up to big heights, it's fear, it's creativity.
Dude, I think this goes back to, you wanting to study the Greek era, for how chill it was, because there's guys bronze sharing their thoughts, in public settings, and there was discourse,
Yeah.
But dude, also at the same time, you got to think, there was the Olympics. They of course had Olympic lifts, but dude, they would straight up rock climb, dude. They would get a natural straight up workout, and I think that's what that goes back to, like just seeing you just glistening. Do they let you take your shirt off in that gym or no?
Oh, for sure.
That's sick. Yeah, dude, you got your shirt off. You're climbing up that wall. You're taking the more challenging course or not?
Yeah.
I love that, dude.
I want to find an outdoor one so I can, because there's no better scene than MI2.
So
Tom
true.
Cruise rock climbing.
It's such a good opening.
So sick.
And
dude, Cliffhanger. What a dank movie, dude.
So dank.
So dank, dude.
What I love about rock climbing too is that like the best rock climbers, they're not like jack dudes that, are like super intimidating. They look like kind of like thoughtful, maybe like artsy dudes who have grip strength for days.
Dude, yeah. I remember you were telling me about when you were rock climbing. I was fired up on it, and I was like, I was watching American Ninja Warrior, and they were talking about, this lady that was competing, and they were saying her grip strength, and she probably weighed like 100 pounds, and it was the exact same as an NFL lineman's grip strength.
Really? Oh, yeah, you told me that? Yeah.
So
dude.
pound for pound, she's stronger.
That's crazy.
Legit, yeah.
I got to pee real quick, too. So
My dog.
Dude, when you come back, I'm peeing too, dude, just so we can keep it going.
Drain the lizard.
Do you need to pee?
Should I go now?
No,
but let's chill for a little bit. Yeah. Dude, I'm fired up. What are you gonna crush tonight? Are you gonna watch a movie?
I'm gonna keep reading this book, The Breaks of the Game by David Halberstam, about the 1980 Portland Trail Blazers.
Nice.
It's so good, dude. The details are amazing.
That's sick.
Yeah, and you really, he's so good at writing about the characters' like point of view and who they are and stuff like that. And he does it quickly. It's like in a paragraph. But dude, the best part is that we know Klay Thompson, and there's details about his dad in there because he was on that team that are so different than the Michael Thompson that we kind of grew up around.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was a wild card when he was a young man. And now he's, he's on the radio and stuff, so he's got personality, but he's so just kind of buttoned up in a way.
Totally.
You know what I mean? He was always pretty strict. But in this book, you're like, oh, he wasn't always that way. And so...
He was a young man.
Yeah.
And dude, speaking of Michael Thompson and dude, the Bahamas with Hurricane Dorian, dude, tough.
Crazy,
it's
man.
brutal right now. So hopefully they're getting some good relief. I was listening, like Tom Brady set up like a foundation. I guess him and his family always go there.
Really?
Yeah, something to look into.
Maybe now's a good time, too, to give some love to the Halim family.
Oh, yeah.
Alex, dear friend of ours, passed away. And, he was just a tremendous guy. And I know it's cliche, but, like, seriously, this guy had so much energy and intensity and just, like, megawatt personality. And it's, like, a huge light to go out.
Big time. He will definitely, be missed selfishly by us, but he will live on.
And you knew him better than I did.
Yeah, I met him in 4th grade. I remember, like, the very first day I saw him, he was in someone else's class, and the way our classrooms were built up, like, there were doors connecting all of the elementary school classes, and he was just the only student allowed to just walk around and just, like, talk to teachers and, like, hang out. Like,
he was
unreal.
He should have been a troublemaker, but authority figures liked him, and I think it's because he was so charming.
So charming and so unbelievably smart. He's a surgeon. Like, the guy was
went to UVA for medical school and was a hand surgeon, and
I think his mind just worked so quick. He's like, all right, I got it. Let's go to the next thing.
Yeah, he needed a lot of stimulation.
Yeah.
But he was one of the funniest guys I ever knew.
Oh,
like,
so
literally,
funny.
I was just running the memories I have with him, and he's so goddamn funny.
Oh, just genuinely hilarious.
One of a kind. Yeah. We were outside a bar one time, and this drunk guy was hitting on our friend, and he just had a plastered face. Mm-hmm. And our friend Alex just couldn't stop going, wait, dude, seriously, but hold on. That's not really your fucking face, is it? And the guy was, it's so mean, but the guy was so hammered. He's like, oh. And then Alex, I'd be like, Alex, stop. And then a couple minutes later, the guy would respond to something, what's everybody doing? And Alex would just start laughing and go, dude, please, come on, you're not serious, right? He's like, that's not really your face, right? Please, come on, man. I can't look at your face. And the guy was.
That's hilarious.
He was hilarious. And Alex just would call it out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But he
He's
was
the
also a
best.
really nice guy, too, and really cared deeply about his friends. And you could feel that from his really close buddies at the memorial, like Mike Asperger, Eric Rulin, James Pareto, and Tom Hall.
Mhm.
They
Fab Five.
yeah, they had a really special connection, and the way they talked about him really spoke to what a great guy he was.
Oh, totally.
Dude, should we get into some questions?
Yes. But can I take a leak first?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
dude.
do the mid roll.
Oh, perfect. How you living, dog?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. That was a fun shoot today.
Yeah, it was fun.
I almost feel like you're right. Like it's two different
It
things.
is too, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I just want to interrupt this podcast, let you know that we are once again brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our dongle pieces, and not by and by dongle I don't mean the thing that you plug into a fucking phone. I mean the thing that protrudes from your body, your dong. And it's the region surrounding it with pubes that need to be trimmed with a lawnmower 2.0. The ladies love it. Trust me on that. The lawnmower is gentle and prevents you from nicking your sack. Don't let your dong go wild. JT, have you manscaped lately?
I have, yeah, man.
How's that going?
Ever since we've been hawking the product, I've been staying more on top of it so
Yeah.
I can be consistent in my action and what I'm selling.
And how do you feel about
I feel
what's
really
going on
good,
down
dude.
there?
And
Yeah.
I think my lever is jacked, and I'm jacked on that, dude.
Yeah. Has
And
she said anything?
I'll just joke about how we're sponsored by Manscaped sometimes, and she'll be
Yeah.
like, "Well, at least you use it," and then throw me a sly smile.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, if
Yeah,
I
just
hear
trying to
something,
be modest.
yeah, if I hear something like that, it makes me just want to like helicopter.
Just swing it.
Yeah.
I love that, man.
Oh, thanks. I got kind of vulnerable there for a second.
Yeah.
Strider, have you manscaped lately?
Of course, dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I gotta keep the road to the dode well paved, dude. I want that thing easy to navigate. You know, doing myself a favor, dude. Keeping things nice and clean, dude. Preventing anything from happening, dude. Especially when I'm running valet in the heat in the summer, dude. No chafage. And then, you know, looking out for my lady, dude. You know, keeping it nice and aesthetically pleasing.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And if you want to have similar stories like these, check out manscaped.com and use code GODEEP at manscaped.com. Use code GODEEP. You'll get 20% off plus free shipping. That's 20% off plus free shipping. And yeah, so let's get into the questions, dudes.
All right, my dogs. First question. Sup, Chad and JT. This is my second time writing, and I don't know if you guys have read my first quest, but it's all good. My sitch right now is I'm sitting behind my friends kind of drunk while they play 2K, and I'm just not having a good time at all. This is usually how these things go when I'm in this environment. Drunk me goes to dark places mentally, similar to JT when smoking weed for a few weeks. That's true. Not good for my mental health. I tell my buddies often I want to rage with a big crowd and maybe some chicas for a better vibe, but they just want to sit around and get stoned and drunk and play 2K. Nothing wrong with that, but that's all they want to do and not my play. I'm not trying to be a schmoll, but this environment, this isn't healthy for me. These guys are the real ones, though, and the only ones I hang with anymore, and if I'm not with them, I'm at home reading Sigmund Freud or contemplating the infidelity of existence and wanking it. I think I'm a schmoll, and I don't know if I should just detach completely or keep trying to find ways to have fun with them. Sorry for the long explanation, but I just don't know what to do. By the way, your guys' pod is fucking great, and you've made me a little more positive since I've started listening. Puzio's a bitch, but deserves redemption, because we all got a little Puzio in us. And JT read On the Road by Jack Kerouac. It's got some epic quotes, and I think you'd love and appreciate the philosophical antiquities in it.
What? This guy's a legend, dude.
This guy's a smart dude.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
I would say mix and match, dude. You know, you obviously want to try different things. You don't want to sit around playing 2K, and that total respect for that. So I'd put yourself out there, you know, find those some people who maybe you want to go do like square dancing at the local saloon, or you want to like sort different colors of M&Ms. I don't know what you want to do, but go do those things. But you also love your squad, it sounds like. So also kick it with them, but it doesn't have to be the only thing. Don't feel so boxed in. because self-care is important. So you got to make sure that you're feeling fulfilled, and then you can take care of your dogs in the correct way.
Dude, I think that was a fire response and very quickly
Beautifully done.
Oh, thank you.
Created.
Oh, thank you.
Dude, I think these guys do sound like cool dudes, and if they're not really fulfilling you all the way you want to be fulfilled, maybe read that Sigmund Freud behind them while they play 2K.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe at first they'll make fun of you, but they'll get used to it. Just do it a bunch of times. Just bring that book to them, and then you'll feel like you're improving while you're chilling, and you'll check both those boxes. And then, dude, maybe you got to push outside a little bit of your comfort zone. Maybe try to find some new people who will be your going out people when you want to do a bigger thing.
Yep.
And yeah, that's tough, man. I mean, I've gone a couple years without having those people in my life, and I just dug more into the reading and the watching movies and the learning stuff. But it is a vital part of life. So they're coming. Just stay on the lookout for them. And when they do come, just have fun.
Here it is, dude. And this, I think, this question came from the universe on a certain day. What did we lead this podcast talking about, dude?
Dongs.
Dropping dong, firing your crew up. JT on the 4th of July dropped his dong. It fired everyone up. Maybe you got to go up in front of 2K and do, depending on what region of the country you're in, either fruit bowl or goat your bros. And don't just do it and say, now let's go do something. Be like, look, be a little proactive. Be a problem solver. You want to go out to like a rager or something? Let them know when the rager is. Let them know the facts. Get them a little fired up. Tease them a little bit. Let them know there might be future GFs there. And then you fruit bowl. Then you goat. Then the squad's fired up. And, that's going to work for a night, And then other nights you're chilling and kicking it. But when you want your variety, sometimes a little dong droppage maybe can help you out in that scenario.
Yeah.
In a nice enclosed setting like that with people you trust.
Yeah, you could do some puppetry with it too, like mix and match, do the hamburger, do...
Right. The helicopter, if you are endowed like Joe.
The wristwatch.
Yeah, a great move I wish I could do. I could maybe do a pinklet.
A pocket watch.
Yeah, pocket watch maybe, yeah. And
dude, that's part of booze, is that it sparks feelings of like being isolated or not being fully fulfilled. That's a chemical component of it. And I'm not even saying it's altogether bad, because sometimes it's good to reflect on that stuff.
Yeah.
And kind of clarify and like kind of really realize what you need. But I think it's cool that when you were feeling that way, you wrote into us, and that you drew up that pretty fire email, and that you sent it off hoping for some feedback. I think that's pretty productive use of that feeling.
Yep, that's proactive. Fired up.
I like how thirsty for knowledge he is.
Yes, yes. That's one of the highest signs of intellect, dude, is intellectual curiosity, dude.
What up, my dudes? Let me precede this by saying that I love the pod and your mission to spread stoke. Anyways, I'm writing to you guys in regard to a tricky love situation. So me and my best friend have been super tight for about 6 years now. We've seen each other date others and whatnot over the years, but it was always cool because we were truly just friends. It's pretty much always been platonic between us. However, recently I've realized that there definitely seems to be an underlying love component. Not to worry though, truly strong friendships can have love too. I'm not talking physically right now. However, others see the connection when we go out, and they see it very romantically. Literally everywhere we go, everybody thinks we are the best couple. We actually were told we were the cutest couple at a fancy party we went to this summer, but people couldn't believe that we weren't actually together. That's just one of the hundreds of examples there are. Getting on to the issue at hand, I just left, and we will be apart geographically for the next 7 months. Distance has never hurt our connection before. The last 2 years had the majority of time spent being distant from each other, and if anything, it brought us closer together. She's truly one of the best human beings I've ever met and never ceases to amaze me. Right before I left, she asked me if we could do a music festival together when I get back. Of course, I'm stoked on that. I've always wanted to go to this festival, and going with her makes it pretty much perfect. After being around each other so much the last several months, I'm scared because I'm developing romantic feelings, and I don't want it to ruin this festival, the friendship, or both. I would love to hear what you guys have to say of this situation. I'm sorry if it's a bit long-winded, but it's as short as I can make it to try and explain it all. Keep spreading the stoke and good vibes.
I think this goes back. I mean, I know I've repeated it a few times, but you got to break your heart, kind of thing. I mean, I think probably subconsciously, or maybe even it's starting to become consciously, you both want this relationship, but you're scared of losing it or losing what you have. But you know, if you got romantic feelings and if she feels the same way, I'm not sure if she does. I think, yeah, but you know, I think you got to go for it. Although they are going to be away from each other for a while, so maybe not try something. But you know,
It's 6 years though. I think you're right that to feel like this guy's really into her. I feel like you're really into her. I think you.
It sounds like
I think
yeah.
you might even be in love with her.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you tell her that. Like I don't know what the best way to do that is, but I think you need to find a way to do it.
Yeah.
Because I think you know, it could go on unresolved and you guys could just end up dating different people and ending up with those people. That's a route that's actually not as bad as it sounds. But I think it's better if you tell her how you feel and then you go that route if it doesn't work out.
No
Yeah.
question.
And it sounds like she might be into you too.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it was a no-brainer from the get-go. It's not a matter of if you tell her how you feel, because you do. It's only a matter of when.
And how.
Now, when and how. And I got two suggestions for you, my dog. First, the how not. I wouldn't do it at the music festival. I wouldn't like go there and make it about that thing and then, you know, maybe the moment creates itself, but I don't know. I would just steer clear of the music festival. What I would do is, and you probably know what in your own mind, think of a dank time that you guys had together, or a dank spot that you went to together that you really enjoyed something, not even romantically or just in your friendship, or maybe a Pokeball place you guys always crush, or a burrito place you guys always crush. Something mundane, something simple that you guys do together. And the next time you're there, you let her know at that spot.
But
Now,
how does he say it?
I would
You know
just
what I
say
mean?
exactly what he's saying in this email. I love you as a friend. We love each other as friends. I love you as a friend. I don't want to jeopardize this. I can't be honest with myself, and I won't be honest around you if I don't tell you that I've developed romantic feelings from you. It kills me if this changes our relationship going forward as friends. I totally understand if that makes it weird for you. This is a risk that I thought about for a long time, but I have to tell you this because there would be an element of dishonesty in our friendship that I don't want to bring into it.
But you know how I asked a girl to winter formal one time, or to winter formal. She was driving me home, and I was like, hey, and I was totally, we were friends. We were just friends, but I really liked her. But I was like, what are your plans for winter formal? And she's like, oh, well, I think I'm gonna go with my friend Max, who goes to another school. He's like a really cool guy, and I think we'd have a lot of fun. And I just got swelled up with this feeling that I needed to ask her. And I was like, I just ran with it. I was like, you know what? We should just go together. And she was like, what? I was like, why don't you and I just go to the dance together? I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And then she was like, okay. Like, I think there will be a moment where you're just like, you can't take it anymore. But it needs to be in this calendar year. And then you say something.
Just fully mean it. I like both ways. I like the way you said it. I like the way you said it. I'm going to throw in a little, fun, maybe way you could change it a little bit. Love Actually.
Yeah.
Show up to her doorstep with boards, everything written out, and you're just looking at her, just shuffling through, telling her how you feel through poster board.
Also, dude, I mean, look, all of these are great. All of these are very grounded and amazing, but never count out the option, which is always an option, of getting yourself an all-leather outfit and a high-powered street bike, revving your engine outside of her house at 3 a.m., waking up all the neighbors, being one for theatrics, and letting her know on the spot. Say, hop on, let's take a ride. She says, go fast. You say, hold on tight, and you guys rip it. I mean, I'm fired up on that scenario.
Sean, what do you think?
I kind of been in this situation where I was friends with someone for a little while, and then we got together, and it was very short-lived, and then a lot of time passed where we were still really good friends, and then we started getting close again, and all those old feelings were coming back for me, but I didn't know if it was happening on the other end. So I, knowing that she's not one to be good with confrontation, I actually drafted an email, and I sat on it, and I just wanted to be true to myself without making her uncomfortable, and I thought this ended up being the best way to do it. And then I sat on the email for a week, just making sure there's no mistakes in there, or I'm explaining myself as accurately as I can. And then one night I was just sitting there and I just hit send, and I was like, all right, I did it. And because she's afraid of confrontation in a lot of ways, I pretty much gave her an out to not have to like respond to it. You know, I didn't want her to feel pressured at all. And in her own way, she kind of responded it in a way that kind of amounted to like, I respect the fact that you did this and that you told me all this, and I don't want this to, you know, hurt our friendship either. You know, so I think as long as you're being true to yourself and you're respecting her comfort, you got to say what you got to say.
And did you feel better for having sent the email?
Oh, that was absolutely the moment I did it. I mean, my heart started racing as soon, because you can't like put that back in the box once you send it out. But like even now, that was probably like a year ago or something. I can like live in my own head, you know, more easy,
right?
Knowing that I did that for myself.
Yeah, and there's no fear of like, what if?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Good on you, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Fired up on that.
That's awesome.
What's up, my dogs? I'm a longtime stoker and a first-time query maker. Just want to say I love the pod, and I've been able to take my stoke to new heights with the help of you two Greek gods. Now I write into the Masters of Raging you're too kind, with a simple but truly important question. I'm throwing an end of summer bash this weekend at my dad's house while he's out of town. I was wondering what are some things you fellas look for in a totally epic rager. The house has a huge backyard with hot tub, fire pit, and large lawn for games. I like what I'm hearing. I'm thinking all of that plus some grilling and maybe a kiddie pool is a good start. But what am I missing to really set this rager apart? I was wondering what tunes you guys love to hear at a fire summertime backyard party. Thanks for the help and keep up the good stoke. Billy the Goat.
Yeah.
Billy, I think you're going to have no problems throwing a great party. I think your head is in all the right places. I would just tell you this. Make sure nothing too bad happens. But other than that, I think you have a good thing coming.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of an added element he can throw in there. Maybe throw in like a dancing like cage, but not in like a weird way. But
right,
like,
not in an objectifying way, but like it's open to anyone who wants to volunteer to get
Yeah.
in there.
Maybe a bounce house.
El Squid Row has like a similar area.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's not like trying to get people in there in like a gross way,
You're not
but
trying
it's
to
more
put-
like
you're not trying to get strippers in there. or
it's
something.
more
Yeah.
like we want you to express yourself.
Not there's
and
anything
if
wrong
you-
with that, but
if
we
it makes
just
you
want the
feel
strippers to choose it.
Yeah, for sure. If it makes you feel more comfortable, you can express yourself in this cage.
Mm-hmm.
I love that, dude. I mean,
Rage cage.
Rage cage.
I mean, dude, have plenty of tables set up for Pong, dude. Have plenty of other games set up, you
Maybe
know,
tournaments.
outdoor area, tournament style. Love that. I would say, as far as music goes, maybe the outdoor music is more just like laid back summer tunes, you know, some Mellencamp, you know, maybe some throwback stuff, you know, dude. Just some like, you just gotta have some Offspring, gotta have some Sublime on there, dude. Just mixing it up. And then inside, maybe there's a dance area, maybe there's a dance cage inside where you're just bumping some beats, you know, some stuff with some rhythm. People can really enjoy themselves. Yeah, and you know, be mindful of the neighbors too when it comes later on. You don't want the party to get rolled.
I'm of two minds when it comes to music. I like having different rooms with different tunes, you know what I mean? So people can pursue the vibe that most works for them. But I also think having everybody on the same wavelength is so vital to a great party. I think for the music that I would suggest is just play some Genuine.
Oh,
Because the thing
fuck
is, when
yeah,
Pony comes
dude,
on, I know
yeah.
it's overdone because of Magic Mike, but I was bumping it long before that, although I do love it in Magic Mike.
It's true,
but
he was.
like, that's going to get people's hips grinding.
Yep.
And then his other songs are good too, like Differences and In Those Jeans. Both underrated
Some
bangers.
Kevin Little.
Kevin Little,
Kevin
Turn
Little.
Me On.
Oh.
Kevin Rudolph.
Oh.
Kevin Hart.
Yes.
Mix it up.
All kinds of Kevins.
Yeah, Kevin's really bring it. Bacon. And then,
Yeah.
dude, yeah, I think really setting the tempo with your own dance moves and your own excitement. Like if you're partying hard, because a lot of people throw parties and they get too worried if everybody else is having a good time and it kind of stresses everybody out. And it's hard not to do. But if you can be the head of the party and be having fun, everyone's going to follow that.
True. Get yourself a button-down shirt, dude. Maybe a Hawaiian vibe like my dog's. And then every hour, you undo one button, dude. And you start at the top. You work your way down until that shirt's off.
That was
Legends.
so fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would I'd throw in some keg stands there too. Just let assert your dominance in a fun way.
Yeah, and it's a fun ritual. Like when you go to a party and you see people doing that, you're like, this is a real party.
Yeah.
People are doing keg stands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. It's fun.
And people are always a little nervous about doing that stuff because
Yeah.
they're like, I don't want to be bad at doing a keg stand.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to be bad yourself at doing the keg stand because then
Yeah.
you're giving everybody else permission just to give it a try.
Yeah, be a social animal. Get on top of that keg and start throwing out cups. Be like, everyone have a good time.
Like
Yeah.
Oprah.
yeah, if you see,
You get a cup. You get a cup.
yeah, if you see someone like kind of like meandering about, like I don't know what to do, give them a cup and just say, look, we're all buddies tonight. I may not know you, but we're gonna make some epic memories.
Dude, I always took a lot of pride in that when my friends had like a family member in town, that when we went out partying, I made sure that person was having fun. Because I think it's a huge part about a good party is that
Yeah.
everyone feels included.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
My first night in college, like, I was like, I went to my buddy Chase took me to this house party, and I was kind of like, I'm like, all right, what's this gonna be? I walk in, this guy's standing on a keg, throws me a red Solo cup. I chug down I think it was Keystone Light, and I loved college from then on. From then on, there out. I don't know the phrase I'm trying to say.
That was like the BC AD moment.
Yeah.
Yes, good call.
Yeah. That's when Stone Cold Steve Austin's son.
What's up, Senseis and Stoke? I've got a confusing stitch on my hands. It's really boking my stoke, and I need your advice. If you could keep my name anonymous, there would be legitimate appreciation from my side, as my boys from OZ also listen to this fire pod. Basically, my best friend's sister is a total babe and is throwing off major vibes that she's keen for me to plunder her booty. Dudes, the glances she gives me are epic. They make my hog stand stiffer than when I see Riley Reid help her stepbrother with his homework. I regularly visit their apartment and find myself going there in the hopes of her being there more than my dog. The more I see her, the more I feel like she might be the one. But my dog, sensing these intimate vibes from our silently sexual communication, has told me that he's not down for me to get diggity with his sis. Total boner jam. Usually I follow my heart and let my dog piece do the talking, but he recently found out I clobbered his girlfriend before they were dating. I didn't tell him earlier out of respect and hope for their budding romance, and has vocalized his concerns about our lack of reciprocation regarding respect towards each other. Let me be clear, dudes. I freaking love this dude and never intentionally disrespect him. I told him that I want to pursue his fire sis romantically to no avail, and feel like if I do raid her treasure chest and sleuth mode, and my dog finds out, he won't forgive me, as this is the one sexual discretion too many. What should I do, dogs? You're my only hope in these trying times. Peace.
I saw some looks coming from you.
I mean, dude, first of all, we do appreciate Riley Reid's work. I like that reference. I don't think, all the step sibling stuff that you see on the adult websites, I feel like it's being forced on us. Maybe there's people into it. I'm not judging. But anyway, dude, that aside, I do appreciate a lot of the, vocabulary he used and, making that a very entertaining read. But
And some of it I thought could be improved upon.
Yeah.
I don't think clobbered was the best
That's what
terminology.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he's controlling his own narrative. I don't believe what he's saying that he wants to pursue his sister romantically because you're using a word like clobber. No, you want to make love. Some of it, I appreciate the effort, but it was just it was a telltale sign, dude. It just threw up a big red flag. If you cared about your buddy and there's plenty of girls out there. And it's, the words you're using just make it sound like you really don't have it, her best intention. And it sounds like you've heard advice that we've given before and you knew how to counter some of those things when you wrote this so that you could get an answer that you want. But, dude, my dog, I'm not going to give you the answer you want. I think it's a no-go, dude. I think it's a no-go, and I think you got to change your outlook a little bit.
Think about, if people are going to get hurt, if you're actually looking for something real with his sister as opposed to just like a big time plunder, that might, it might happen, and then you'll probably feel kind of shitty about it afterwards, and it won't be worth it unless you're actually pursuing something real.
And you know what we didn't hear once in this article? All we heard was, we didn't hear anything about her, dude. If you were really stoked on her, you would have written a lot more naturally about her and how she got you stoked.
Dude, and not to harp on the language thing too much, but the title of this email was also slamming my best friend's sister.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, bro.
Any guy who was talking about my sister that way was like slamming JT's sister, I'd be like, I think I'd prefer this guy not to do that.
Yeah, dude. The email title should definitely be Making Love to a Girl That I'm Into. She's my best friend.
Yeah,
sister.
like should I should I marry this girl or should I cut out my heart and die alone? I'd be like, all right, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Who is this guy? Sean, what do you think?
Man, I think, well, first of all, bro code, first
For
and
sure.
foremost. And if you're trying to, modify the bro code and tailor it to this particular friendship, then that's going to require some honest and considerate conversation. And I don't know, that's the only thought I have on it.
Well, dude, that was well
Dude,
said.
fuck
Thank you,
yeah.
dog.
Fuck yeah. You have to have that talk, dude. Maybe it's over Mario Kart, maybe it's while watching a game, maybe it's while crushing breakfast burritos, but you got to have that talk, dude.
All right, dudes. Should we get into the other stuff?
Hell yeah.
Chad, who is your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is with my dog Dylan. This goes back to the college days. One night, Dylan and I, we were just crushing Metallica and Bud Light Platinum simultaneously, which is an electric combo that definitely gets you to ride the lightning. Voice crack there. Fuck.
Don't stress on it, dog.
I'm charmed by it, dude.
I love it.
I'm charmed.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
dude.
And you wrestling with it is even charming. So you
Yeah.
know what?
It's great
I take
to
back
watch.
what I said. Do
Thank-
whatever you want to do.
I fucking love it, dude.
Roll with it, baby.
Thanks, dude.
Roll with it.
Thanks. So yeah, Dylan. So yeah, we were crushing Metallica and Bud Light Platinums, riding the lightning. Just getting down. Starting to get destructive in my room. It was all safe. We just destroyed like a chair. It was plastic, and it deserved to get fucked up. And yeah, we were. It was a fire pregame. We were getting ready to go out, and I walk out and I close the door for some reason, and I think I have habit. And he walks through my door, like
Broke it?
hulked through it, like foot through, fist through, whole body through.
Dang.
And I gotta say, it was a fire move. I was impressed. I was stoked. I was like, dude, that was awesome. But it does, it's gonna have major consequences on the privacy of drilling myself.
Yes.
I'm not sure if I said those words correctly because I'm fired up because I couldn't drill myself correctly for 3 months.
I think it's true.
Because there's a freaking hole in my door the size of a human body, and he's 6 feet, so he freaking blasted through that door, and every time and yeah, I drilled myself sometimes, and yeah, I had an audience because of Dylan.
Dude, that just pipes up some memories for me. My buddy Robbie, my brother and I one time were like, hey, we're ditching you, Robbie. And we ran into my brother's room and pretended to lock the door. So Robbie ran right through the door. And we're like, it wasn't even locked. He's like, how was I supposed to know? But then it turned out to be a cool skill to know he had, because my cousin was locked in a bathroom and the water started leaking through to the bottom floor because the bath was overflowing. And I couldn't get into the bathroom. And then I said, Robbie, break it down. He cracked the door down and my cousin was passed out in the bath.
No way.
Yeah, but he was all right. But it
Good.
was like,
Awesome.
thank God Robbie could
Fuck yeah.
just handle the wood. Lay the wood to the wood.
Yeah.
Ride the lightning with wood.
He's got power. Not much grace. I played pickup basketball with him. Fouls every time.
Yeah.
Fouls every time. But good guy.
My dog, who's your beef of the week?
Dude, my beef of the week is Jerry, dude. My freaking downstairs neighbor from my GF and I's apartment. And he's not my beef of the week because he chain smokes constantly and he gets on our AC and blows into our freaking bedroom when we're trying to sleep or, be intimate. But he is my beef of the week because he's been doing this unbelievable thing lately, dude. It's been summer, so it's been hot out, dude. In LA right now, it's hot, dude. It's muggy. It's weird. We get a late summer, dude. July was nice. August wasn't too bad. September, October, we're scorching over here, dude. Record heat always comes in October in LA. Anyway, dude, so my front door is open because of that, and I'm only going screen door style, and to let in some, cool evening air. And so, but because I've been doing this lately, I've been hearing Jerry, who's always been Postmatesing. And, dude, I'm not even exaggerating. I think on his last 7 Postmates orders, he's ordering a soda. First of all, dude, just go buy soda at the market and have soda at your house, dude. He's postmating a drink, which is already a risk in my opinion, dude. And then he's complaining when it gets there. He's going, "There's no ice in this. I said I want there to be ice in this when I get here." And he has this demanding tone to the Postmates person who he doesn't know. It's like, "There's no ice in here. I ordered it this long ago." And it's traveling on. I'm like, dude, have you ever got a drink before? And it's hot as fuck out right now. And he's like, dude, there's no ice and will send it back and won't accept it. And just that's so unchill.
Yeah, dude.
So Jerry's my beef of the week. I mean, but even then, again, finding Stoke in this, I have been able to laugh at how absurdly ridiculous it is that he's so mad that his drink shows up with no ice, dude. Sometimes you order, like I would order, like if he was being smart, dude, and I didn't have soda at my place, I would just get a soda with no ice, knowing that I have ice in the apartment, dude, and then I got more soda out of it.
It's like, does he have a freezer?
Yeah, dude, hook yourself up. Do you scratch your own back, baby? Meanwhile, he's just freaking stressing out, dude. I don't know, man. He's not thinking straight, dude.
Was he buying like a 16-ounce Fanta?
Yeah, dude, he would like Postmates Shake Shack or something and be like...
Just a soda.
No. He would get like a meal, but with the soda, you know what I mean? Like from
okay.
Shake Shack or wherever, Fresh Corn Dank or something like that with the soda with ice in it. And he'd be like...
Do you think he gets a thrill from the gratuity of what he's doing?
I think...
The gratuitous nature of what he's doing?
I think exactly right. I think he does deep down derive some sort of sick pleasure out of this. Side note, one time a coworker of mine at Valet was hungover and needed coffee really bad, and he Postmated himself a iced caramel macchiato, and someone rolled up and they go, "Hey, is Dave here?" It was like a $9 latte. He's like, "Thank you so much."
I love that.
It was amazing,
Yeah, that's
dude. It was a
awesome.
fire move. But yeah, dude, Jerry, I mean, dude, he's just got to change his ways a little bit.
For sure.
Dude, my beef of the week is my panic and my anxiety, and it does this weird thing where I'll be on the freeway and I'll just get super anxious, and I'll be like shaking, and then I'll be worried I'm gonna pass out, or I'll get a thought that I can't get out of my head that I'm about to turn the wheel, or like do something like horrible while driving. And I hate it, because then I just sit there and I white knuckle the wheel, and I'm like, no, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. And then so coming from Orange County to LA the other day, I actually got off the freeway and just took the long way home, because I was like, I just can't deal with the freeway right now. And then it came again today. You and I were at the LACMA, the museum in Los Angeles, and they have an escalator that goes from the first floor to the third floor. So it's a big escalator, like one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. And I was terrified the whole time that I was gonna like jump off, because I'm scared, so I can't sit in the fear. That's what the problem is. So I want to just get out, but you can't get out. You got to sit in the fear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's no start over if you make a mistake like that. So you just got to sit in it. And I just hate that my panic and anxiety is doing that. But you know what? It'll be all good. I'll figure it out. Let's go.
This is part of it, dude. You're talking, you're sharing the feelings, man. I mean, I think that's a big part of people that are afraid of heights. Dude, a friend of ours, mom wouldn't even drive on the freeway, I think.
Yeah, dude, no, I relate to her so much.
Yeah.
Because it's like, and I'm getting more and more of it as I get older. Like, my anxieties are getting bigger.
Yeah, it's...
My confidence in certain areas is getting bigger, but my anxiety in other areas is getting bigger too. It's like everything's growing together.
I think it's definitely a natural human response, though. I mean, I've, like, before we were going to go on Howard Stern or something, I was visualizing
The worst.
myself saying the worst things possible,
Yeah.
just because it would be like career ending,
Right.
you know, or like rock climbing too. I can't get the thought out of my head of like the worst thing happening, like me falling horrifically or something.
Right. And does that help you be sharper then and do the opposite, you think?
I don't know, because it freaks me out, because then I'm like, because I have that in my head, am I gonna like, are
you gonna manifest that?
Yeah, make it more likely to happen.
Right.
Or am I so anxious about it that I'm like more aware, so that I'll be more careful.
Right.
I
think it's a balance, right?
Yeah, I lean more towards it's making me more careful kind of thing. But then there's always that, because I don't know.
Dude, I had a volleyball coach. This guy, really great guy, Tom Ashen, dude, R.I.P., legend, dude. And he would have us, this was in middle school, everyone just at the end of practice lay down and visualize. And he'd go, first he'd talk us through what he was teaching. He's like, here's the play, serve comes in, the pass is received, see your teammate who's doing that pass, you're playing this position, the ball comes a little bit out of system, means it didn't go 3 to 5 feet from the net, slightly to the right. Out of system play, where are you going to go, where are you going to adjust? And I think it's just that exact practice, but with your stresses of like, you know, it's tough when it's, you know, a heights thing or driving on the freeways, obviously, with the anxiety and panic, but it's like seeing what you can control is what it comes down to, because it's not being able to control things. And it's like when it comes to Stern or doing a stand-up set or something, you go, everybody has those feelings, dude. I have
Yeah.
those feelings. I'm gonna fuck up. I'm gonna say something dumb, dude. I'm gonna say like, if I'm talking, like if I know I'm talking to somebody and I'm not allowed to say something, if like they're like, hey, someone
Yeah,
you know,
it's like try not to think of
just happened.
elephants.
Exactly,
Yeah.
immediately. But I think you just need to sit down and literally like imagine like Tom Brady that shit of like navigate away. And of course it's never going to go that way, but if you have a path, if you see something, you have something to get back on track with. You
Yeah.
know, give yourself that thing to get back on track with.
And I think something that does help me is like, and I do want to get past it, but I do think it helps me to be like, all right, I have this anxiety and I can try to pretend I don't and just keep driving on the freeway, or I can just add 30 minutes to my drive time, even though it kills me to be inefficient, and just feel safer on the way home and just accept to myself that I have a certain level of panic that changes the way I have to behave.
I think that's huge. I think
and
that
just being okay with it and being like, look, I'm just a guy who can't drive on the freeway sometimes. It's just who I am. Like I wouldn't do. I'm not crazy about it, but I'm not mad at it. Whatever.
I love it.
My GF will be all right if I get there a little bit late.
Yeah.
As long as I'm safe, you know?
Yeah, then you just adjust. You adapt. This seems like it's something that's coming up more recent, you know? You plan. The night before, what's your day look like tomorrow? Boom, like that.
But now we have a job coming up that we're most likely going to do,
Yeah.
and it's going to necessitate a flight.
Do you think it's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Have you heard anything?
I talked to them a little bit about if I can make so I have like a big work offer, but it conflicts with going to my friend's rehearsal dinner for his wedding. So I'm a little bit conflicted. I talked to my dad and my brother and stuff. I'm going to call my buddy now and see how he feels.
But do you talk to reps?
Yeah, I talked to them, and they think that we can make it work if I take a red eye on Friday.
Okay.
So
cool,
I'd miss the rehearsal dinner, but I'd make it for the wedding. But I'm one of the groomsmen, so it's not an easy choice to make.
Gotcha.
But hopefully my dog's all right with it. I do feel like I'm letting him down a little bit, but I also feel like he'll understand. But we'll see what he says. I haven't talked to him yet.
I think he'll understand. But yeah, you definitely got to talk to him. You're doing all the right things.
Chad, who's your... sorry.
To add on to that whole thing, you know, if you get those thoughts, maybe you could sort of switch the point of view a little bit and be like, this is helping me, if that makes sense.
Right, no, totally.
Like, this is making me more aware of the dangers, so I'm safer.
Dude,
Mhm.
sometimes I actually think when I'm super anxious like that, I'm actually driving better than I do when I'm
It's sort of like
not
when you
anxious.
when you drive
Yeah.
high. I've heard like
Yeah.
you know you drive better because you're so paranoid.
Right. But dude, just having the feeling, I'm like, my brain literally makes me
yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like my hands are turning.
Yeah.
Like my brain's like, your hands are turning, your
Dude,
feet are doing weird
I
things.
get feelings
Yeah.
like that all the time.
It's terrifying.
Dude,
Yeah.
I always think, like, dude, even in camp rock climbing, I'd be like, what if I just moved this thing down? Like, why am I thinking that thought? Like, where's it come from?
Right.
You can really,
Yeah.
you know, drive yourself wild doing that.
I
but
know.
It's just critical.
Seinfeld's like
So
very
weird.
good. Seinfeld did a talk with Wale, the rapper, which was interesting, and he talked about Wale was like talking about crazy thoughts like that, and Seinfeld's like, who cares? Every day I walk on my balcony, my first thought is jump off.
Yeah.
I just don't do it. It happens. Whatever.
Yeah.
He's like so comfortable with the neuroses that he almost
Yeah.
doesn't have any anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that. I read this book on like anxiety. It's like, don't try to push out the thoughts. Sort of recognize them for what they are,
Right.
So that you can live comfortably with them and just sort of, you know that they're coming in, but know that they're just thoughts. They're not, manifesting into actions.
Yeah,
'Cause-
take the feeling in, express it in a healthy way.
They
Yeah.
live and die without impact sometimes.
Yeah.
Chad, who is your babe of the week?
My babe of the week is the rock climbing wall.
You guys have been courting each other for a while.
I've been looking at this climbing wall. It's similar to the guy who wrote in. It's been like,
Does that rock climbing wall have a sister, dude? That like.
dude, I'll
Is-
ask.
Yeah.
I'll freaking ask, dude. I'll be like, yeah. Me and the rock climbing wall met when I was about 7 years old. Strictly platonic. I climbed and I was like, this is legit. And I was like, Dad, freaking belay, which is the rope term. And we meet again some years later, rock climbing wall, and what up? I'm developing romantic feelings for you now, because I love what you do. You challenge me, you help me with my creativity, you help my grip strength, you help me overcome fear, and it's legit. And I freaking love the rock climbing wall. It's a beautiful thing, and I love rocks, dude.
Fire, dude.
Geologists,
Fuck
what
yeah.
up?
Big what up to the geologists.
I mean, dude, how do I refer to my GF as my rock? Right? I mean, it just only fucking makes perfect sense, dude. Only makes perfect sense. And what should a lover do but help you grow and you guys grow together?
Wow, dude.
Which
Fucking
leads
sick.
nicely into Strider. Who is your babe of the week?
Well, my baby of the week, of course, has to be my GF, and not has I say that, but I mean it's just it's without say for me. And dude, for this week, dude, she's my baby of the week for a simple reason of what she did today, dude. Dank little text message she sends me. She goes, "Should we go on a date together tomorrow night?" Do you know how fired up I get on that, dude? And before I can even respond, dude, I'm literally typing the word movie, a question mark, into my phone. She goes, "I'm thinking we see a movie." Fucking just dialed in like that, dude. So how are you not my babe of the week when she's just keeping me, keeping it fresh with a fun date, dude? Even just using, like we were talking about earlier, words are very important. She could have easily said, "Let's just go hang out tomorrow night," or "Hey, want to see a movie?" Of course I'm stoked. Of course I'm fired up. But now that she's like, "Hey, let's have a nice little date night," raises the stakes of the evening, gonna make it a little more charm factor, fires me up. Sure, she's fired up. So just really dank. And I related to the words of that guy saying bone my email or bone my sister in the or sister in email thing. I'm really struggling with speaking
Plunder
with
her
that.
booty.
Plunder her booty. Even when I said the Rockwall thing, I meant to make a callback joke of saying, "Oh, is this Rockwall's somebody's sister? Like maybe the trampoline sister?" But I fucked it up.
Interesting.
But everyone fucks up.
Everyone fucks up.
Yeah. But anyway, just my GF for just being a straight up legend, dude. Friggin' loving and caring, and even in text and word. And so fired up.
Dude, my babe of the week is podcasts.
Oh, nice.
I love
Dude.
the medium of podcast, dude. And I'm not even
Dang.
speaking from the going deep point of view. I'm just saying I love listening to them. Like, I love being informed by them. Some of my favorite information dense ones are like the Ezra Klein show or Conversations with Tyler or Dan Carlin, Hardcore History, who we talked about earlier. Or I listened to the 30 for 30 on the Sterling saga when he was forced to sell the Clippers. And, dude, it was great. It was great entertainment. Made the drive to and from Orange County breezy. And then the thing I really love about podcasts, though, and is like when we talked earlier about not being able to talk about being sensitive and not being able to talk about your feelings, like the first time I heard dudes doing that was in podcasts. I was listening to What the Fuck with Mark Maron and the Pete Holmes podcast, You Made It Weird. Like, they were so unabashed and clear in how they felt and like what scared them and what they wanted and like career envy and like all these things that I thought you weren't allowed to talk about, and they were just letting it rip. I was like, that's what made me want to do podcasts and do stand-up, was just hearing how open those guys got to be. I was like, man, that looks like fucking fun. That looks like the best way to live. And I don't think I ever would have got to feeling that way without podcasts. Not that I'm always that way, but I'm trying. And I think podcasts really were the roadmap for that stuff. So I'm just grateful for the form. And my favorites, though, I got to say, are Bill Simmons and Joe Rogan. I think those two and Marin are the three best ever at podcasting. Those are my rankings, dude.
I love it, dude. And dude, even right now, when we get to this, we're essentially just hanging out, being honest. I get
Yeah.
fired up every time, dude. You're like, dude, get your valet shift covered. We're potting it up. I go, I'm there, dude.
Fuck yeah.
Don't
dudes.
care how fat the tips get. Nothing's fatter than my freaking stoke when I'm hanging with my dogs, dude. Being emotionally honest, dude.
You know they say you should find mentors. I think podcast has allowed us to find hundreds of mentors.
Yeah.
You know, and I always feel so lucky for that, about how there's like YouTube and podcasts, so you can find these mentors and like gain this knowledge from these wise people, and you don't have to do it in person. So you can just expand your knowledge base times 1,000 now.
That's amazing.
Have you listened to Q&A with Jeff Goldsmith?
No.
Oh, it's great. I've been listening to it a lot.
That
It's
sounds good.
it's about like it's with like filmmakers.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's the one I should check out on there?
Quentin Tarantino one was good. The Arrival one was good. The guy who wrote Arrival.
Yeah, the guy who wrote it?
Yeah.
Dude, I listened to him on another podcast,
Yeah.
on Koppelman's podcast.
Yeah.
Interesting. He made there 12 different alien ships that land on Earth because it was 12 studios that rejected his script. Yeah. And, the whole idea is no one understands what the aliens are saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
There's another one. The guys who wrote Overboard, which we have met. They did the Wedding Crashers guys.
Right. Nice
That was a
guys.
cool one. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're great guys.
They were cool dudes.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, that Will Ferrell scene in Wedding Crashers is like
Oh.
good.
Yeah.
More for me and you, dude.
Dude.
I've watched that on YouTube so many times.
Dude died in a
So
hang
good.
gliding accident.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Yeah, dude, just
Very few scenes have made me more giddy.
so totally,
Yeah.
and like just the pathos and pain he's playing, but at like this total shielded level, like,
Oh.
is just amazing.
With the nunchucks
oh, dude, yeah,
around the
yeah,
What the fuck do you want?
yeah, it's so funny, dude.
And then do you really feel like Owen Wilson in that scene? Where you're like,
Yeah.
oh no, this guy's out of his mind. And then
Yeah.
when you see that he slept with a really beautiful woman, you're
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And then Owen Wilson's like, yeah, I will have some.
I love
I knew
his.
you'd come
I will
around.
have some meatloaf.
I love his
Yeah.
physicality when he's leaning back. He's like, "Hey, babe, yeah, you do whatever you have to do."
Oh yeah, no, oh, no,
He's
Oh, yeah,
like
he's got the
rolling his
wrist
wrist.
thing. Yeah.
and dude, and you know this is his point of view, but he's like, her, I got her at a funeral.
Yeah.
And dude, the way he's moving his hand just like this, is
Dude, his
just unreal.
physicality too, when he says he died in a hang gliding or no,
Yeah.
and he goes, oh no, when he finds out that
Oh,
Vince
yeah,
Vaughn's
yeah.
getting married, he goes, what an idiot! And he
Yeah.
kicks the desk. Idiot!
Dude, the
Kicking
laugh,
it.
the
Totally, he's
laugh
like,
he
yeah.
does. He's like, I can't do it.
He
Dude.
even does the first thing. He goes,
Yeah.
he goes, oh, and like crashes. Idiot. It's amazing.
That looks like the most fun Will Ferrell ever had.
Oh yeah.
acting. Yeah.
Oh man.
I loved those bit even to bring it back to Pitt. You know, Pitt, a character actor in a leading man's body. I mean, Will Ferrell does great character acting. His leading stuff is good, but you know, I think I love those, you know, roles that are smaller that they just make everything out of.
Yeah, critics said Brad Pitt's best when he's subordinate to another star in a movie. Like in Ocean's 11, he's subordinate to Danny Ocean, or in Fight Club, you know, he's Ed Norton's alter ego.
Yep.
Or in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he's like the errand guy for Leo's character.
But I choose not to subscribe to the critics' point of view on this. I would rather subscribe to Pitt or maybe Ferrell's when making that decision. Pitt in this example is like, yeah, you know, on the call sheet or whatever, they're not number one in that scenario. But like, dude, he's not even thinking about it like that. He's like, dude, I've got a good role. Let me go execute this thing and fucking bring it and explore myself while doing it. Done, dude. That's how you make it great.
But does he like not being number one on the call
Relieves
sheet?
the stress. Yeah, maybe there's that. Yeah.
Does it allow him to focus more on the acting?
Mm.
I think so. I think there's less external responsibilities you have to, you know, adhere to, I guess.
He can eat in scenes.
Like, I feel sometimes when you watch Chris Pratt, you're like, he's lost a little bit of like charm almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's having as much fun now when he performs. It looks like
Yeah.
he's like he's got the responsibility of $100 million on his shoulders.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel the weight of the franchises on him.
Yeah.
And dude, we love a comeback too. Like we were talking about with Pitt, you gotta fall a little bit. You gotta kind of, even though he was, you know, a success, but he had a low point. Like I don't has Pratt had? I mean, he went through a divorce.
He went
which
through a
is bad.
divorce. I
It's
think that was
terrible.
it. And he got a lot of heat for doing some thoughts and prayers tweets.
Yeah,
I don't know how acutely he felt it, but I mean, if it was me, I would have been like, this sucks.
totally.
Yeah.
Chad, are you guys
No. But no.
Rip?
I thought a thought, and then I was like, nah, everything's fulfilled.
I
Love it.
that.
Love
Yeah.
it, dude. Just like we were saying earlier.
I'm
Some
content
thoughts
as
come
well,
and
my
go.
dog.
Nice. This has been fun.
It's been a good one.
Fucking
Yeah.
love it.
Sean, what up?
Sean, what up? What's
Legend,
up?
Chad, who is your legend of the week?
My legend of the week is Buster Keaton.
Dude.
I've been crushing Buster Keaton films this week too. I crushed College and The General, because I've been trying to, like, you know, expand my knowledge base, and just like, you know, I was like, I gotta learn from like the first guy, and just see what he did. And you actually learn a lot when you watch those films. Like you think, like people think, oh, silent films gonna be boring as fuck. I learned a ton watching that. You know, just like story structure and his deadpan. He's just like, he's the fucking man, dude. And also, like, I watched The General, which, like, most of it takes place on a train, a moving train, which, you know, they didn't have CGI. They just had, like, they had basic ass cameras, so they were all doing it in real time, like a moving train. He's running all over it. He's like the first Tom Cruise, dude. You know, this guy, this is
I
like,
love that.
yeah,
Fucking sick.
the original Tom Cruise. Just some facts about him. So he's basically, you know, the first comedic actor director, I guess, in film history, right? Would you say?
Yeah, I don't have enough of a cinematic.
He's
knowledge to
he's up
counter
th-
it.
he's
Yeah.
up there.
I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's the first to do a ton of things in film because he was
Right.
there at the inception, basically.
Yeah. So he's known for his guys. Check out Buster Keaton films. You know, you can just YouTube him. The General is the most famous one. Buster Keaton is known for his consistent stoic, deadpan expression, which earned him the nickname "the Great Stone Face." The original stuntman. He's doing parkour all over the train in The General.
His athleticism's insane.
It's crazy, and with just consistent gags in between. They look like at high difficulty too, because he's like doing all this stuff, but he has all these gags laid out throughout.
Totally, dude.
And he worked on silent films consistently from 1920 to 1929. And Robert Ebert called him the greatest actor-director in the history of the movies. And Orson Welles called The General the highest achievement in comedy and possibly the greatest film ever made.
Dude.
Dang, high praise from.
Couple of legends.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to give him props. What up, Buster? You're a legend.
Dude, and good on you for sitting through 2 Buster Keaton movies, dude.
Yeah, I was more stoked on it than I thought I'd be.
You are eating your cultural vegetables, and that is not
Oh,
easy, dog.
Dude, it was
Dude, I
straight
love
up,
that.
straight up bee sprouts
Yeah.
with no
No bacon or balsamic on it.
right.
Thank
exactly.
you, because
None
that's
of
the
that
only
biz.
way to have bee sprouts in my book.
Strider, who is your legend of the week?
Dude, my legend of the week. It's gotta be my GF, dude. She freaking showed me this dank picture, and I mentioned it earlier because it's on my dome, of a snake plant, dude. And I mentioned Jerry smoking ciggies in the apartment below us. And a snake plant is great for the air, and it also thrives. Not thrives, but oh my speaker went out. Can
Me
you guys still
too.
hear it?
Are we still?
Yeah,
are we
you're
good?
You're
We
still
still
good,
rolling?
yeah.
All right,
Cool,
cool.
cool.
Dude, it friggin'
It's back
thrives.
on.
All right, it's back on. Nice, dude. That was like straight up in that scene in Saving Private Ryan when they're storming D-Day when the grenade goes off and he's looking around and he's like, Captain, we gotta
Yeah.
move. So I'm just freaking, straight up Captain Millering it right now. And anyway, dude, she showed me the snake plant. It's great for the air in your apartment. It really raises your stoke having a living thing around because, right now we have our fake tree, which is sick. It raises our stoke, but I'm going to be very fired up to get that snake plant going. So we're on the market for that. And it's nice to have an activity that we can do together, kind of when we're chilling, watching a show or something like that, or something's on the background. We can be on our laptops and be like, oh, what do you think of this one? Oh, sick. Where should it go? It's nice to freaking plan, dude. Just nice to freaking plan stuff, the dank stuff with our GF, dude. Being a part of each other's future. So that's really what that snake plant represents for me. So fired up for that.
That's legit.
Legend, dude.
Thank you, D.
Dude, my legend of the week is a multiple-time legend of the week winner. It's my dad.
Fuck yeah.
He was in town because the high school I went to, the high school that he actually founded, and I'm thankful for that because I don't think I would have been able to graduate from any other place, decided to dedicate a building to him. So we went to a mass, which I hadn't been to in a while, and then we had a lunch afterwards, and a lot of people got up and spoke about my dad, and it was just beautiful to hear what people had to say about him. Like the head dean, Eric Stroop, he came up there. First, he talked about what a difficult student I was to corral, but all in a positive way, which I really appreciated. And then he just he said that after every meeting, my dad would come to his office and ask 2 things: how are you doing, and what do you need? And that he never asked for anything in return, which, I mean, I don't know if it's the case, but it was nice to hear. And then just so many teachers got up and just said things about my dad that were basically I don't know, some of the best stuff people can say about you. Just that he was reliable and that he cared, and that they could count on him. And I really do think that's my dad. And I'm just jacked on the whole thing. I got to give a little speech about him. I trashed him a little bit at first. I said he wasn't a good caregiver. I was like, you ever had a massage from the guy? He's got hands like stones. But I said he is good at taking care of people. And in my life, I contend that to be true. And my dad has so many dimensions. Like he's a crazy motherfucker, but I think he's done a really good job. And I'm proud of him for getting the building named after him. And some of you know he's battling pancreatic cancer, which is a tough thing to deal with, but he's handling it really, really well. Although I do wish he'd eat a little bit healthier. But the dude's the dude that he is, and I'm very thankful for it. So what's up, Dad? Love you.
That's great, dude.
Legend.
He's a legend, dude.
Legend.
Chad, what is your quote of the week?
My quote of the week comes from this dude Shad Helmsetter, who's like this like self-talk guy. He's like, you gotta do self-talk, dude. Make sure your self-talk is on point. You you're eating healthy food, you gotta eat healthy mind food. When you talk to your, that's his whole, thesis. So, a lot of people ask me that. They're like, "What's the self-help or self-talk thing?" Shad Helmsetter, to answer your questions, dudes. But he said, "Give life to your dreams, give strength to your visions, and give light to your path."
Fire, dude.
Love that, dude.
Yeah.
Strider, what is your quote of the week?
Selfishly, I've got to do two. The
I
second
love
one's
it.
very quick, and the first one is, I think, goes out to our buddy we mentioned earlier, our buddy who passed, Alex Halim. And I read this Rumi or Rummy, I'm probably saying it wrong, and I'm going to have to paraphrase the quote too because I read it today, but it really stood out, and it was like, there are no goodbyes. Goodbyes are only for people that love with their eyes, because people that love with their heart and soul, there are never goodbyes. And I think that stands out at this time. Even though Alex is not with us, it's not goodbye because we still love him. And so that's legit. But then my actual quote of the week that I got the other night, I was crushing a dank film called Some Kind of Wonderful, dude. And there's a character in this movie.
Bro, that's one of my favorites.
It's a fucking
dog.
great
It's
John
one of
Hughes
my
movie,
fucking
dude.
Favorites, bro.
Dude, Chad, dude, we got to crush a John Hughes movie together. All three of us got to watch some John Hughes together. Freaking dank movies. You might know Ferris Bueller is this huge one. He did the Home
I
Alone.
love
He's
Ferris
a
Bueller.
beast, dude. Writer. And, dude, Some Kind of Wonderful. Character Duncan, dude. Dank little Bowie song playing in the background. And, dude, he comes into this, I don't want to spoil anything. I won't give you the moment, but he looks at this guy that you don't like, and he goes, "I don't smell nothing but chicken shit." And, dude, fucking fire line, dude.
That is one of the best lines.
And his delivery, dude, in the context around it, the Dan Carlin context around it, is fire, dude. So, fuck yeah, dude.
That's legit.
Yeah.
All right.
What's your quote?
Hold on 1 second.
I gotta get a new phone, dude. Dude, I have a freaking iPhone 5S. Look at this thing, dude. If you're on the video, look how great it is, dude. I don't have gigantic hands, but imagine if this was like an iPhone 10 in my hand. It'd be like an Andre the Giant style hand. This is a visual thing, so I apologize for that. But if you're familiar with an iPhone 5S, it's tiny, and I love the size. And I read this article on iPhones. It's actually like the top 3 iPhone. I think the 10X, the most recent one, is the dankest. Then like the iPhone 8 is apparently very legit. But baby, don't fucking sleep on the 5S. This thing has been so true to me for so long. I got this thing brand new when it came out. Knock on wood. Battery's still good. That's a sick rhyme. And so, just fired up. 5S. All
Well,
good.
I'm just paraphrasing basically too, but Marcus Aurelius has a good quote that's in the new Like Stories of Old YouTube channel about Stoicism and Gladiator. I strongly recommend it. And I'm going to butcher it, but he basically says every man has 2 lives. One, the life that he leads, and then the second is how we all think of him after they're gone, or how we all think of her after she's gone.
Yeah, I love that. That's beautiful,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
All right. Chat,
Love
what's
it.
your phrase for getting after it?
To get after it, I say, let's turn these jeans into shorts.
Oh, I fucking love that, dude.
Little arts and crafts your way into
Hell
fun.
yeah.
Snip the denim, baby.
Reveal those calves and
Snip
those
the
claws.
denim's a good one too.
Let's snip,
Snip
that
the denim is nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
I'm just firing.
Dude, hashtag snip the denim.
What's yours, dude?
I got one. It's from a lifting coach when I was doing volleyball in college, dude. Coach Mams, dude. And this is a very common one, but I'd never heard it. It was the first time I'd heard it. And we were putting up some weight, dude, and I was doing some hang cleans nicely, and he goes, "We're cooking on propane now."
Nice.
And I like
dude.
that, dude.
That's fire.
love
I
that.
like that.
Mine is from the Brad Pitt interview that we read. He was talking about how he partied in the 90s, and he goes, "I used to just get bonged into oblivion."
Yeah, bonged. That was great.
Hilarious.
Beast, bro.
We should get
Fucking-
bonged into oblivion.
Bonged into oblivion. Get bonged into oblivion tonight.
And it just goes,
All right, dudes.
guys, this was fun.
This was great, guys.
This is amazing.
Always excellent to have Strider around, my dog.
Dude, back at you, dude. Freaking back at both my bros.
We will see you soon,
Fuck yeah.
probably in like a week.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
Or I'll see you tomorrow, but the Stokers, I mean.
Yes.
Or will I see you tomorrow? Sometime.
Yeah, sometime.
We have Zed in the park.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Saturdays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Park on
Sick,
Saturday.
sick.
Oh wait, we got to talk about that real quick.
Oh, right.
We
Or
went
should
to
we
the-
save it for another?
No, we should do
Because
it
it's
right
so
now.
much to talk about.
All right, we'll save it for another. Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
teaser.
Yeah.
But we party with Zed.
We probably was that.
Zed got us into a party.
He's legit. They're the best.
I'll probably cut that part. Yeah, they were great.
We're going to Zed in the Park this Saturday, guys. Check it out. Should be legit. Zed, epic DJ, even better dude. Guys, stay manscaped and stay stoked. Keep giving those fire reviews, dudes. Those help us out a lot to spread the Stoke Nation. And then, yeah, just stay legit, dudes and ladies. And you guys want to say anything?
Boom, clap, Stokers. And as always, we're brought to you by UCI Baseball,
All right.
led by their pitching coach, Daniel Babona, and their head coach as well. I'm just not as tight of dogs with him, but I heard he's a really good dude from Danny. If you're a young dude who can swing and throw, you definitely need to go to UCI. They should call it UC Newport Beach because it's right there.
Hell yes.
And, of course, Douglas Lubricant, the best in the biz, guys. You want to bone, and you want to bone well, and you want to bone smooth. So when you bone right with Douglas. Tons of flavors: original, sherbet, raspberry, razzmatazz, and anal.
Anal tastes the best.
Fuck yeah. Stay stoked, bros.
Later, Sean.
Later, man. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, dude.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was good.
Thanks for staying late.
No problem.
Thank you.
Not a problem at all.
Yeah.
You guys are a treat to listen to.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you need advice,